Okay, it says I'm live. We will see. Let's see. There, there we go. Let's see. All right. Uh, so welcome to episode 10 of the Three Peat Podcast. It's only me for now. We may have appearances by James and Maddock later tonight. Um, the draft starts in 1 minute, although it won't be for another 10 or 15 that the pick comes in. Let's see. Set that right there. Let's see here. Titans have the first overall pick. It then goes to the Browns, who is reported in the last hour that they are open to trading the second overall pick. Let's see. I wonder if I get off the lead set. I will also. I wonder how that messes with the audio. Now, let's see. How do I change that? Hello, hello. Let's see. Why is that so loud? Hello. Can I turn my mic down? Let's see here. Is that better? Still so loud. All right. Technical difficulties. I will be right back. Okay, I'm just going to do it like this for now. Let's see. Am I even able to be heard? Okay, so it's going to be loud for now. The commissioner just walked out on the stage. Um, going to try to figure this out while we're waiting. Does that change anything? I lowered the microphone and now I'm trying to hear it on the live stream. We will see. It is still very loud. I'm going to lower it all the way down to 15 on here. And I'm going to listen to see. It seems as though that as long as I don't speak super loudly, then it's fine. It doesn't normally sound like this, I don't think, so I'm not sure why it does now. I wonder if it's my headphones busted. I'll try the other one. Okay, I'm going to. Okay, so this is the other microphone. I'm going to listen now. That did not sound much better. But that's how I'm going to have to do it because I don't have another microphone to use that works with my computer. So I'm sorry about the audio. Let's see. The Titans are about to be on the clock. Titans are on the clock. Everybody already knows what the pick is. It's going to be Cam Ward, quarterback out of Miami. Before the draft, I looked into all the top prospects and did a little pros and cons list for them, the player comp. I would look through all the different articles of pros and cons. I watched tape for Cam Ward, especially his game against Georgia Tech. When Georgia Tech upset number 4 Miami. That game, I think, showcased a lot of Cam's negatives. I feel like Tech got a lot of pressure towards Cam, and he does not play very well under pressure. His Pro Football Focus gave him a 94.1 quarterback grade with no pressure and a 56.5 with pressure. And that was really shown in that Georgia Tech game as soon as the Tech D line and linebackers were blitzing and getting into Cam. He was making bad passes. I believe he threw 2 interceptions that game. I will check that real quick. Let's see.
but there's plenty to dream on, and this is one competitive kid. And you're talking about competing in your division and CJ Stroud. That's
Strange, I'm not seeing. Maybe he didn't throw an interception because nothing's saying an interception. 3 touchdowns, 348 yards. He had a great game still, and that loss was not his fault. Um, just showcase some of his cons. He is also his great. Well, he's fine in the pocket. He can get a lot better at that. But he has great mechanics. He has a really good control of the rhythm of the game. He can change the tempo of his passes depending on the situation. He has poise like someone who's not a rookie, which reminded me a lot of Michael Penix as a Falcons fan. Just the confidence that he shows in the pocket, even though his actual mobility in the pocket isn't great yet. Um, he works through all his progressions, which is a big issue for a lot of the top college quarterbacks. So that's a great thing that he doesn't have to learn in the major league. Um, here, what else did I write down for him? He has a good zip of the ball. He's a problem solver. If the pocket collapses, he will be able to see where he can escape the pocket and get as many yards as he can. He maximizes yards, either with his feet or with his arm. He will throw the ball deep if he sees a route open. His deep ball accuracy is not great. Um, that's something he'll definitely need to work on. His ball placement. Just if it's longer than 35 yards, it's not going to be a super accurate pass from him. Um, anything between 10 and 35, great though. Let's see here. What else? I think that may have been everything I wrote down. The problem solver is the biggest factor with Cam Ward, and that's really what set him apart from the other quarterbacks um, in the draft this year. Because that's not something you see from a college level quarterback, especially not a guy that's about to be a rookie in the NFL. Um, that's usually something you see from like, veteran quarterbacks. Uh, but he had a great vision of the field. He can read the defense pretty well. Uh, he does he does go hero ball sometimes. He tries to make a big play happen, which can lead to turnovers. Um, doesn't doesn't make a lot of boneheaded plays, but just it's the hero ball he can do that can lead to turnovers. The broadcast just gives him like a comp of Baker Mayfield, which is it's a fair comparison. The comps I wrote down were Steve McNair, which is what a lot of people were saying on the I believe CBS Sports was one that put out the Steve McNair comp. The other one I was seeing a lot, and this one I saw in his game a lot, was Jordan Love. He he graded pretty much the same as Jordan Love did coming out of the draft, which kind of shows that this is a much weaker quarterback draft than the past couple because Jordan Love was a borderline second round pick. Um, and now we have Cam Warren going first. The Titans pick is in. Let's see. Hmm. Okay, Cam Ward. Titans locked in on him. That's good for those fans. Um, confidence. He's an incredibly confident player, which he should be. He worked his way up from FCS to Oregon State to Miami. He was the finalist for the Heisman. Um, confidence will never be an issue with him. Sometimes it's overconfidence, which can be a con, especially with a rookie quarterback. But you'd rather have an overconfident quarterback than an underconfident quarterback. The Browns are on the clock, and the commissioner is coming out to officially announce the pick.
Come on. With the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward.
Cameron Ward, quarterback Miami. All right, Titans get their quarterback of the future. I do wonder what happens now with Levis because he was not great his first couple of years in the league, but I think he showed some very promising play. I would not be surprised if some team with a more veteran quarterback, or maybe not a great quarterback, but they are committed to him, would take him and trade for a backup, kind of like how the Dolphins Cowboys did with Trey Lance a couple years ago. Um, because obviously his time in Tennessee is over, and there's no point to have him as a backup at this time. And I doubt he would want to be a backup. I think he's only been in the league. I think this would be his third or fourth season. Um, could definitely see a team like New Orleans going after Levis if they can't come away with a quarterback in this draft. Oh, and this is a jersey of Cam Ward's favorite receiver, Calvin Ridley. Now, with the Browns on the clock, uh, they don't trade the pick, then they will be taking Travis Hunter, who obviously receiver and cornerback out of Colorado, the Shohei Ohtani of football, if you will. Um, whether you think he's overrated or not, he is a generational talent. No one has ever played both sides of the field like he has. Wow, the Jaguars traded for pick number two. The Jaguars traded for pick number two, second overall pick, a fourth round pick, and a sixth round pick. That's what they get. They trade away the fifth overall pick, their second round pick, their fourth round pick, and next year's first round pick. Wow, big moves already. So the Jaguars now will probably be selecting Travis Hunter. Wow. Okay. Big move. Going to get a just a playmaker. As I just said, a generational talent for Trevor Lawrence. Um. Wow. Big move from James Gladstone, the new general manager. Was there with the Rams. This is this is what the Jaguars need to do. They have been standing pat the past couple of years, letting players every big signing they sign just goes away. Like when they got Ridley a couple years ago, and they just let him walk to Tennessee. Their top receiver, um, currently, I'm forgetting his name. He was that rookie last year. Um, Brian Thomas Jr. and he's a dog. Gabe Davis is not a second string receiver in 2025. His time in Buffalo, he he won't match those highs again. Really hope he can hear the drinking. Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr. and Gabe Davis, who is still a good wide receiver number three. That's a pretty great offense on paper right there. Uh, Lawrence obviously has not lived up to the hype that he had coming out as the first overall pick, guaranteed first overall pick in his freshman season. Um, this is definitely a move that's going to make a break for Lawrence. They gave him that big contract extension to keep him. Obviously an overpay, but everyone knew at the time it was going to be overpaid. You got to keep your franchise quarterback if you really believe that he can be that. Um, their pick is in. It's going probably going to be Travis Hunter. Um, I do also. I hope that he plays both sides in the league. I know he wants to. I don't know if the Jaguars are going to really have him. They definitely can use him on both sides of the field. Their cornerback room that isn't great, if I recall, and the receiver room obviously is not amazing. Let's see here. I'll go ahead. Pros for Travis Hunter. I wrote down he has a great burst off the line as a receiver. Um, you can see him. He's patient. He will lull a cornerback in, um, and then burst right by them. Which there was a screenplay I want to say against Nebraska, maybe or Colorado State. I don't know if Colorado played Nebraska last year. Um, screenplay. Hunter stands there like he's going to block, and then the slot receiver comes in to block his guy to just complete burst, runs right by everybody right there, wide open touchdown. Um, it's very reminiscent of Justin Jefferson's burst off the ball. Uh, and his route running also reminds me of Justin Jefferson, which is, I mean, obviously a great comparison, best receiver in the league. Um, now on his defensive side of the field, uh, he has great play recognition, great football IQ. Um, plays really tight coverage. He'll sometimes lean off of a receiver so that they can get ahead of him, and he can hope to make the quarterback make a bad throw. Use that speed to catch back up because he's usually faster than the receiver, and he has great ball skills from being a receiver. Um, usually can get a hand in there or even get an interception. He had 7 interceptions, I want to say, in his time in Colorado. Uh, 3 or 4 more while he was with Jackson State. Um, I think he can definitely be a ball hawk in the NFL. It's the only question with him is if his endurance can last so it did. Never seen anybody with conditioning like he has playing every snap in the game on both sides of the field. See, and the commissioner is on the stage.
To celebrate the 32 young men entering the NFL, I'm honored to take a moment to recognize a player who's made a profound impact on and off the field. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, recognizes one player each year who best represents greatness and compassion both on and off the field and in the community. Tonight, we are proudly joined by the 2024 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, Eric Armstead.
Eric Armstead. He going to announce his trade and the pick.
First off,
I'm not rocking with the Duval in Green Bay.
thank you to the commissioner. Thank you to the Payton family and the NFL and Nationwide. And also, too, tonight I want to encourage each player embarking on the NFL journey to identify a passion close to their heart and act upon it. Use your platform to make your community, the league, and this world a better place. As we remember Walter Payton, strive to leave a positive legacy of your own. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We have a trade.
5th overall pick, a 2nd-round pick,
Jacksonville Jaguars.
and a 1st overall pick. This 2nd overall pick.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter. Yep. That receiver and defensive back. All right. Big move by Jacksonville. I think I just remembered that I didn't say his player comp outside. Justin Jefferson obviously is a receiver. Um, I saw somebody say Chad Ochocinco, and I thought that was a decent comp also. Like Slender Friend, receiver who has good burst of the ball, just like Jefferson. Um, Champ Bailey was a cornerback name I came across a lot, which obviously Bailey, if I recall correctly, did play some offense, so maybe that's why. Um, but his defensive ability with how tight he stays on to a guy is a lot like Champ Bailey also. Or also saw Trevon Diggs. I think Diggs goes for the ball a lot more than Hunter does, even though Hunter does go for the ball a lot. But Hunter also doesn't get burned in coverage like Diggs does. Um, gotta root for Travis Hunter. Everybody loves him.
All those other guys who did it, Charles Woodson. It seems like they're born too soon, Joel, for them to be utilized like this young man will be utilized in the NFL. He is a special player.
The only cons I got for Travis Hunter were his smaller frame. He's only 185 pounds. Um, Bigger cornerbacks and bigger receivers will kind of bully him unless he jacks up a little. That is where the speed will come in, though. And then what else? Yeah, bigger receivers on run plays will block him, take him out. We saw that in college. Receivers, well, if a linebacker could get, or not a linebacker, a lineman could get to him, he he was gone. They would take him out. Um, Looks for the big play too much. I did write down, which is where the Diggs comparison comes in. Does go for a does go for a interception sometimes when he's shown it. Does lead to a touchdown. Does lead to big yard catches. Here. New York is on the clock now. They probably will be looking at Abdul Carter, who is my number one player in the draft.
I'm so excited that they picked me. The Jacksonville Jaguars just traded up.
Yo.
Yo.
I saw the Jaguars got Travis Hunter. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, wild. They traded their first round pick, their second round pick, and their first round pick next year to move up to number 2.
But then they got like a 4th and a 6th as well, right?
They got a 4th and a 6th, yes, and pick 5.
I wonder who.
Or no,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, they got a 4th and 6th and pick 2. The Browns got pick 5 in it.
Gotcha. I wonder who Cleveland is thinking that they want then.
That's what I was about to say. I'm not sure because Abdul Carter is going to go next to the Giants probably, and then New England will probably go Will Campbell, the tackle out of LSU, to protect Drake May. I'm not sure who fits Cleveland at 5.
Maybe Shador.
Shador at 5. I mean, honestly, I could see it.
I mean, they know he's not going at 2, but I feel like he could go at 5. That's not crazy.
I feel like Shador would also make sense for Cleveland.
Yeah. Well, they do. Don't they have like 4 quarterbacks?
They have 4 quarterbacks, but they still need one. They have Joe Flacco. They have Kenny Pickett. They have Watson, obviously, but he's probably out for the year.
Yeah. I wonder. My thing with Travis Hunter, like I haven't watched a ton of his film. Like I watched Colorado games that like the first year where they were a thing when they were bad.
Yeah.
Is he really expected to be like elite at both?
I mean, it's gonna be hard if he tries to play both because even though his conditioning in college was great, do I sound okay?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay, my audio sucked when I started the stream. I don't know what was up.
It's like a little bit fuzzy, but it's not like I can still clearly hear what you're saying.
Okay, yeah, okay, good. No, because when I first started it, I could not hear anything of what I was saying when I was listening to myself.
Oh.
Okay. When I was looking at his tape earlier, because in the past couple hours I've been I was watching Draft Day and looking at tape. Hunter has the ability to be elite defensively or offensively. The only question is if he can do both.
Yeah, because he wants to do both, like really badly.
He's talented enough to where he will be a top. If he only did one, he would be top at either. One of the top guys. what was it? One of the comps I saw for him for cornerback was Pat Sertan. Pat Sertan. Is that how you say
Yeah.
his name? He he sticks to a guy like glue off the ball
Hmm.
defensively. I honestly liked his defensive film more than his offensive film.
Really?
Oh, the Giants are on the bid.
The pick is in.
Yes, Abdul Carter.
Okay,
Yep.
nice.
There was talk that they would trade out of number 3. There was some talk in the Falcons social media the past couple of days that they may be trading up from 15 to 3, although it was a long shot.
The Falcons getting
Uh,
Abdul Carter would be pretty sick.
that I know would be my dream. It'd be my
Yeah.
dream. Uh, the Giants get another really good edge rusher though.
Their defensive line is going to be
Their
gross, like
defensive line should
disgustingly
be,
good.
which I mean, when you have to go against the Eagles twice a year, then like yeah, you're gonna have to have that.
Yeah.
He Abdul Carter was my number 1 player this draft. He is insane to watch.
Yeah.
He like I was writing down a pros and cons for some of the top prospects. My only con for him is that he is a little smaller than you'd want the average edge to be. Only con.
Yeah. No,
It,
he's a monster.
yeah, he's a monster. I mean, we saw him shut down the best running back maybe ever in college. So, like just by himself.
He reminds me of like obviously the comps to Micah Parsons, but like
Yeah.
when I originally was seeing pictures of him, I literally thought it was Micah Parsons. I was like,
I mean,
who's this Carter guy?
right, they wore the same number and
Yeah.
everything. I had wrote down Micah Parsons, obviously. I also wrote down Brian Burns, but like
Yeah,
a
who's on
better
the
version
Giants.
of Brian Burns, who's on the Giants. They
Yeah.
have Burns. They have what's his
Dexter
name?
Lawrence.
They have Dexter Lawrence. They have is it said Thibodeau? No, not
Kayvon
Thibodeau.
Thibodeau, yeah.
It is Thibodeau. Okay, they have him. They're gonna have a monster D line if they keep all those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when their D line was fully healthy last year. I think it was number 1 in sacks for a couple of weeks, or at least early in the season.
It should be. If I mean the Giants defensively, the Giants have the talent. They just need to.
Yeah. I mean, they have Malik Neighbors and Russ who can throw a moon ball now.
Russ and Winston.
Yeah.
They're gonna be fun to watch.
Honestly, they could be a playoff team. They could be a sneaky playoff team.
Yeah, they just have to play the 2 teams that are in the NFC Championship this past year 4 times.
That is true.
Yeah, they're in a tough division, which is crazy to say about the NFL or NFC East after the past.
So wait, who's on the clock right now? Is it the Patriots?
It is the Patriots, yeah.
Okay.
They'll probably go Will Campbell. If you haven't, whenever you have free time, watch Will Campbell film. He is so fun to watch. If you like just watching linemen just wreck guys, Will Campbell is that guy.
Hey, maybe he falls to the Seahawks. Maybe.
Oh no. Will Campbell may be my number 3 player in this draft.
Really?
I think. Yeah. My
so who was your number 2?
My number 2 is Travis Hunter.
Okay. Where did Cam Ward fall?
It's hard to really place because like he's the top quarterback, but like I was saying when he came up, he's a lot out of the draft. He's a very similar to Jordan Ward, who was a late first round, early second round guy. I want to say pick 21 that year. So any other year, Cam Ward's probably like the 3rd or 4th best quarterback.
Yeah.
So I would say Cam Ward's a top 10 prospect, but I don't know if I would put him any higher than like 9 or 8.
Yeah, that's fair. I remember I'm so annoyed that he didn't declare for the draft last year because he would have been a 4th round, like 3rd, 4th round pick, and he was at Washington State at the time. And I remember being like texting my like Seahawks friends. I'm like, this is the guy we need to pick up in the 3rd round, you know?
That's and that would have been great.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not the first overall pick.
Yeah.
The best thing about Cam Ward is his confidence. I also was saying the big part of that that set him apart was I wrote it down as he's a problem solver. If there's any, he's really great at improvising. If there's any pocket collapse, he can read the defense very well. He can see a hole. He can run into it.
He's super slippery. I feel like he can juke really well.
Slippery. He is slippery. He's not particularly fast, I don't believe, but he's just slippery.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
Who do you think, if not Will Campbell, what other position could New England go right now?
I mean, really, the Patriots need a receiver. They could go McMillan.
It's too high to draft McMillan, I think.
See, I really like McMillan. I really do.
Me too.
I do like McMillan. I had him before all the like combine and all that. I had McMillan as a top 5 pick. I had
Oh
him
wow.
going to New England.
Okay.
So he could go there. Will Campbell, obviously, I think Will Campbell's going to be the pick. Who else? I mean, they could go. I don't remember how to say his name, but he's the tackle out of Missouri. Um, it just makes sense to draft a receiver or a tackle here with Drake
Yeah.
May being your quarterback. He needs. They got Diggs. Um, it was just
Diggs.
nuts. Yeah, 2025 Diggs coming off of a season-ending injury. I don't know.
Yeah.
They were really. I believe they were in the Cooper Cubs, but he obviously went to Seattle.
Hmm. I
It
love
really
how
only makes sense.
they're always in on every receiver that comes available, and he never goes there.
It's the same as the Packers are in on every big name that gets traded, but they just never trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's yeah. Drake May is great. Obviously, he needs a receiver. They should, if they don't get receiver here, they should definitely get receiver in the second round.
Or trade
Which
up.
is
I honestly could see them trading up again into the first round.
If McMillan falls, I have McMillan in my latest mock draft. I had him falling to 22 to the Chargers.
Oh wow.
If he
Wait, who'd you have
falls that
taking him?
far, huh?
Who'd you have taking him?
The Chargers.
Okay. Oh, that would be
Yeah.
sick.
Right. That's and for some reason McMillan is falling. Like he was a projected top 10, top 5 pick, and now
Yeah.
he's going he's going to be a first round pick. Just I don't know where.
Seahawks.
I could see the Seahawks taking a receiver.
They honestly probably would rather take a receiver than an offensive lineman.
Probably, yeah. Let's see, who else could the Patriots go here?
I feel like no one else really makes sense for them. They just have this such obvious needs.
Yeah, that's the only two guys that make sense are Will Campbell. I mean, the tackle out of Missouri, but that's just if you like him more than Will Campbell.
Yeah.
I don't. The only thing Will Campbell has shorter arms than the average guard or tackle.
Mm-hmm.
His arm size is more fit for a guard, but the rest of his body he's more fit for a tackle. He can play guard or tackle. Tackle is usually, I mean, not usually. Tackle is a more important position.
Patriots need both.
Yeah, really. Let's just draft Campbell. Makes sense. Plug him in. He's a powerful guy. He's fast off the ball. He's. I mean, hey, former offensive lineman myself. Love watching offensive linemen. Pure joy watching his tape. Pure joy. It's different than when I watched Kelvin Banks, I think his name is, the tackle out of Texas.
Yeah.
I did not like his tape as much. I had him as a top 10 guy until I watched the tape.
Really?
It fell for me. Yeah. He's not fast off the ball. He doesn't do great in run protection. He's great in pass protection. Like, he's a stone wall you try to get through him pass-wise. But he's not great. That's really the only part of the thing where he really stood out to me. Let's see here. The Patriots pick is in. It will probably be Will Campbell. They could go Mason Graham if they wanted a D lineman.
Was their D line bad last year? I honestly don't remember.
Most of their team was bad last year.
True. Besides, Drake May and
Drake May,
Tayshaun Booty.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Who are they getting? Will Campbell.
Okay.
Will Campbell, Patriot. It just makes sense. He's a
good pick.
Great pick. He honestly, I thought about having him as my number 2 player. The only thing is he does have a shorter arm. Like that's not something you can change.
Yeah.
He has shorter arms. I'm seeing it right now. He doesn't look like an offensive tackle, just body wise. But when you watch him play, he does. He's so fun. He's so fun.
Could the Patriots possibly be fun this year? Maybe.
If Drake May's throwing the bombs to Stephon Diggs while having great coverage by Will Campbell, yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun. I like Drake May. I don't know why, but I really like Drake May.
I love Drake May also. I don't know what, like, for a quarterback that I think went 3-9 this year, he looked really good in those.
He did. Yeah. There's also lots of situational stuff that went wrong. I feel like.
Definitely, and now he has Vrabel as his head coach, and Vrabel's a pretty great head coach, I would say.
And they got Josh McDaniels back as the offensive coordinator.
He did, and Mac Jones went to a Pro Bowl with McDaniels.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if Mac Jones can go to a Pro Bowl, Drake May should be a Pro Bowl quarterback next 2 years.
So wait, 5. So this is the Browns now,
Five
right?
as the Browns, yeah.
Okay.
This is where it gets
This is
interesting.
a really interesting pick. Yeah.
So far, the top four picks have matched my mock draft, except I obviously had Hunter going to the Browns, not the Jags, because I didn't do any
Yeah.
trade. I mean, the Browns could trade out of 5. There was talks that the Bears wanted to trade up to number 5 again, Genty.
Is Genty really? I guess there's. I feel like the Genty stuff. It's been rumored at 8 to I think the Raiders.
6.
Is that 6?
The Raiders have 6.
Oh, okay. I'm excited for the Raiders pick because they're like Walmart. The Walmart Seahawks.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to see how Pete wants to build like this version of the team.
The Raiders pick was the hardest one for me in the top 10. Every time I did a mock, because I would choose Genty just because it made sense. They had one of the worst run games in the league last year.
Yeah, and plus it's
Best
Pete
running back
Carroll
prospect ever. It's Pete Carroll. He had Marshawn Lynch
and Reggie Bush in
like,
college.
Reggie Bush in college. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would just make sense for Genty to go to the Raiders. But you never really know, especially with an entire new team.
Pete also loves taking. I feel like it's Pete, but maybe it's John Schneider. Maybe it's our GM, but I feel like Pete loves a good corner. I don't know.
Oh, he definitely does.
Is there any corner that like is high enough rated to take at 6?
Not currently.
Okay.
Will Johnson, the corner out of Michigan, a year ago was getting projected as a top 3 pick.
Gotcha.
And then even like a couple weeks ago, I was seeing him top 10. Apparently, he has some medical issues.
Oh, weird.
Because reports in the past couple of days have said that it would not be surprising for him to fall to the second round.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's the guy
value.
I wanted. Right. That's the guy I wanted the Falcons to take at 15. If he does really have like such bad knees as it is being reported, and these are pretty important for a cornerback.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure about that, but so I'm not sure where he'll go anymore. There's been a lot of reports recently that a lot of the mid-round guys may just fall to the second round.
Dang.
This is a really deep draft, so it would make sense.
I'm really interested to see where Jackson Dart goes, because he could go top 10 and he could go in the 3rd round. Like,
I'm praying that the Saints take Jackson Dart.
You don't think he's good?
I don't think Jackson Dart's good. I think he
Okay.
is. Every year there's a quarterback that goes late first, early second that is nowhere near that level of talent.
Will Levis.
Will Levis, Drew Lock. There's a guy a couple years ago that I'm forgetting. Every year, the fans
They're
are
all
like,
white.
"Oh, we're gonna arrive." Pretty much, yeah. They're all like the lunch pail guys, first guy in, last guy out. Yeah, that's how they always get reported. The Browns pick is in.
Okay.
I feel like that's what Dart is. Dart. I watched Jackson Dart in college. Not all of his games, obviously. I don't see a top tier NFL quarterback.
Here's an interesting question. Who do you least want the Saints to take? What would be the best pick for them, do you think?
The best pick for the Saints.
Shador?
I don't know.
There's been Shador rumors.
There has been Shador rumors. I'm not a Shador hater. A lot of people are Shador haters. He honestly he's annoying. He is annoying.
He is.
But he's also really good. Like he is good. I see people say he's not good. He is very good. You watched the games, Colorado versus TCU 2 years ago, his first game at a Power 5 team. He was killing them. And this is a team that was just in the national championship the year before.
Technically, I mean, they did fall off that year. They went
it was not the same team at all.
Yeah.
No, not at all. But Shador's not a bad quarterback.
No, I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be good.
He has very high bust potential, but he still probably will be good. Let's see, the Browns are picking. Mason Graham, defensive tackle out of Michigan.
Interesting.
Mason Graham and Myles Garrett on the same line. Wow.
GG, they're just going death mode.
I mean, you got to go up against Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. You might as well. It's the same thing with the Giants.
Yeah.
You have great quarterbacks in your division. You got to stack up the D line.
Honestly, though, if every team either had a great quarterback or a great defensive line, every game would be worth watching.
Oh yeah. This is my favorite draft class in a couple years.
Really?
Just like it really is. Like there's not a lot of top heavy guys. I mean, Abdul Carter's one of my favorite guys in a couple years. Will Campbell's one of my favorite guys in a couple years.
Hmm.
But and Travis Hunter's generational, obviously. Um, but the offensive side is not great. It's a really deep defensive class, and I love watching some defensive football.
Oh yeah.
And these are all, and a lot of these guys are like defensive playmakers, game right. Like
Mhm.
that's what I wrote down. The first thing I wrote down for Abdul Carter is he's a game wrecker,
Yeah.
and that's true for a lot of these defensive guys. Is that they changed the game.
Yeah. My favorite
Especially
draft class. I really like the draft class last year just because there's so many top quarterbacks,
that's fair. That was
and
that
they
was a fun one to watch.
mostly panned out because it was Caleb, Jaden, May,
I had Bo Nix,
Bo Nix, Penix.
Penix, yeah.
The only one that
I don't,
really hasn't panned out yet is JJ McCarthy, which I knew he wasn't going
and
to be good.
he right, and he hasn't played. He got
Yeah, he
hurt.
hasn't played, but I still
Yeah,
don't think he's going to be good.
0 passing yards. He sucked.
Yeah,
The Vikings
seriously.
should trade for Kirk Cousins.
Facts. The Falcons trade Kirk Cousins for JJ McCarthy 1-for-1.
We have McCarthy as Penix's backup on his
Yeah.
contract. Yeah, we should do that.
Honestly, though,
Um,
oh my gosh, I hate JJ McCarthy.
I actually did not write anything down for Mason Graham. It took me an hour. I realized how hard scouts jobs are. It took me an hour to write down 4 prospects for them.
Oh wow.
Dude, it was bad because
Yeah.
I also I had my water was turned off most of the day, so I had only taken a shower about 2 hours ago.
Oh
Uh, so I got out of the shower. I was like, all right, I got an hour until the draft starts. Let me start doing this. I expect I can get out in like 10 prospects at least.
yeah.
4.
Are they
Uh,
all? Have they all been picked so far?
they were the top 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, my mock draft outside of the teams, just placement has been perfect.
Nice. Okay.
5 for
Oh,
5.
you had Mason
But
Graham.
I had Mason Graham. I had him going to the Jags at 5.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
then
Weird for the
I did have
Jags.
Genty.
I'm trying to think of Travis Hunter's fit on the Jags.
Well, I mean, the Jags, they needed a receiver.
Yeah, they need
They,
everything, to be honest.
they need a receiver. I don't remember any of their cornerbacks. Like just in general, I don't
Yeah,
think
no,
name a
they had like
cornerback
the
for the
worst
Jags.
pass defense in the league.
If Hunter pans out the way that he obviously wants to,
Yeah.
like playing 100% of the time, he's great. It's a perfect fit for them.
Oh yeah, I mean he'd be a perfect fit for anyone if he's an elite
Pretty
receiver
much,
and
yeah.
an elite corner.
Yeah. It's just like it's officially a team that needs both.
Yeah,
Let's see.
that's actually exciting because Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter. That's pretty cool.
Right. It's make or breaker time for Trevor Lawrence.
If Trevor Lawrence doesn't get anything done this year, he might get traded or cut or something. They need to give up on him.
Yeah, I'm a big Lawrence guy. I've loved Trevor Lawrence since he was in high school. It's really disappointed how he hasn't really amounted to anything yet.
Yeah, I
still
remember.
believe
I really liked him because of that comeback. That was super sick.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, he hasn't done anything since then.
Mm-mm. No. The Raiders pick is already in. It's probably
wow.
Genty.
That'd be awesome.
I'd have to say it's probably gonna be Genty for it to be that in. Obviously, probably the greatest running back prospect I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's.
I was
the
seeing
greatest
stuff
college
about him
running
like
back.
I was seeing like stuff about him last year, let alone this year.
Yeah.
He blew up this
Last year. He blew up this year. He had 2 very different seasons the last 2 years. A year ago, he would have been classified. It was already out. He would have been classified as a receiving back a year ago. Ashton
Yep.
Genty,
Okay.
Raider. Yep.
Nice.
All right.
That's so sick.
I love that. I love him with Pete Carroll.
I could
Should have been the
see the
Heisman.
Raiders doing something this year. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, and Pete Carroll's a really good head coach.
Gino's good. I'm saying.
Pete Carroll's a good coach.
Maybe he has a.
Yeah.
Do the Raiders have a good O line?
I don't remember them having a bad O line.
They have that guy, the center from Oregon last year, Will Powers, something Powers.
I know who you're talking about. I forget his first name.
They have him. Ashton Genty. Wait, can you still see my picture if
Your
I
camera?
do this?
No, it's gone.
I want to be able to, because is there a way that I can keep it on if I swipe out. I'm just gonna check Twitter no matter what. I need to see what's
Yeah.
going on right now.
Let's see, who is 7? Well, I'm blanking on who has pick 7.
I also can't think of it.
Let's see. Oh, the Jets.
Oh,
The
okay.
Jets. In my mock draft, I think this is what makes the most sense for them here, although they could go a couple different ways.
No one is projecting them to get a quarterback. Does no one think that Justin Fields can't be a backup? Oh, Tristan, you just muted yourself. And I still can't hear you. Still can't hear anything. Did your earbuds die or something? Oh, you can't hear? Bruh. No. I still can't hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. That was it
Okay.
was my mic started working, and like I was testing it on my computer audio and it was working, but then the audio like I could hear it, but I couldn't say anything. I could hear
That's weird.
everything but StreamYard.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't. It did that. I was watching a movie on my computer and with these headphones and it disconnected like that, but then it
Mm.
reconnected right after.
Huh.
So I'm not sure what's up. But the Jets pick is in. Um, Genty to the Raiders is a great fit. He'll
Yeah, I
obviously
can't wait.
he'll probably be great.
They need a receiver still.
They do need a receiver. A lot of teams need a receiver. This is not a great receiver draft.
No, it's probably the worst in a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, especially we had the draft a couple years ago with Olave, London, and Wilson on the same one.
Hmm.
Like that was a good receiver draft.
There was the Zay Flowers JSN
Hmm.
draft. There's a couple of other ones too. I can't really remember though.
Last year's was good. I don't remember the prospects. I just remember thinking it was a good receiver draft.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors and Marvin
Neighbors,
Harrison,
yeah, yeah,
Roma
Marvin
Dunze.
Harrison. Yeah, the
I
Huskies.
love Rome. That guy's my goat.
The Jets.
The New York Jets select Armand Mimbu.
Armand Mimbu. That's the dude's name. Missouri tackle.
Gotcha.
I'm 7 for 7 so far.
Nice.
Good.
Dang, are the Jets that took a tackle last year too?
The Jets really. I feel like they just always draft whoever falls into the lap.
Yeah.
Which I mean, with pick 7, that's kind of how you have to play it. Uh, I did not watch as much Mimbu film as I did Banks or Johnson,
Hmm.
or not Johnson, Campbell. Um, but uh, he's a very powerful right tackle. The broadcast is currently saying he's a good anchor. Um,
Hmm.
he played right tackle for Missouri. I don't know if he'll stay at right in New York. I don't know if the tackle they drafted last year was a left or right tackle.
I was a left tackle, I believe.
He was a left tackle. He'll
The
probably
guy
stay
from
right
Penn
then.
State.
Yeah, I cannot remember his name.
I don't remember. It was like Olu. No, Olu Fashanu
Let's see,
or
24 NFL
something.
draft. Let's see here. Um, oh yeah, Olu Fashanu,
Okay, it was
maybe.
Olu Fashanu.
Yeah. Let's see.
I don't really remember if he was good or not. Like if he was good last season.
I honestly, outside of the Aaron Rodgers, I'm not hear about anything in New York.
True.
But two rookie tackles, Justin Fields is well, I guess maybe two
Justin
rookie
Fields
tackles is not
sucks.
good for Justin Fields. Justin Fields does suck. 2 years, $40 million is so much money to spend on the guy who has one read.
Yeah.
But apparently a lot of Jets fans are happy with it, so that's fine. At least the Jets
I mean,
fans
at
I'll
least
talk
it's
to.
better than Aaron Rodgers. Let's be honest.
Maybe it's gonna be interesting, and sometimes interesting is better than good.
Yeah.
The Panthers pick is already in. The Saints are on the clock.
Do the Panthers take McMillan? Or I guess they have receivers. Do
That's
they?
so I had no. They have Thielen.
They and
That's it.
Leggett.
Yeah, they do have Leggett. I still would say receiver is probably a top need for them.
Hmm.
So they could take McMillan. I originally I had McMillan in my first mock draft going to the Patriots, and then my second and third one I had him going to the Panthers.
Okay. That would be fun. I would love that for Bryce Young.
Let's check. I did a mock draft today, and I had McMillan going to the Chargers. But that was not. Oh yeah, okay. I had him going to the Chargers the one I did yesterday also. The one I did yesterday is the one I'm using for my
Okay.
basis. I had the Panthers taking Jalen Walker here, the defensive end out of Georgia.
Okay.
Who I think is probably the second best end or edge in the draft. Probably the second best defensive player in the draft. Not counting Hunter. He's also a just complete game changer. That's who I want the Falcons to take if he does fall, but he's
Okay.
not going to.
Yeah. Also, my phone battery is getting completely drained by this, so I'll
Okay.
probably off in like 10, 15 minutes or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. I charged my phone for like 3 hours before that. You were at a debate thing though, so
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I was off all day, so
yeah, that's fair.
let's see. I wonder.
I want the Panthers to get McMillan. The Panthers are fun. They were fun last year at the end of the year.
I mean, that game at the end of the year, the Falcons Panthers game was probably one of the best games I'd seen all year, at least for the
Agreed.
Falcons.
That was. I was watching that at the airport.
Bryce Young threw that touchdown while turning around.
Yeah, he
he's the
got his
goat.
confidence back at the end of the year.
I love Bryce Young.
Me too.
I personally, if I was the Panthers, I'd probably go McMillan. But
Yeah.
Jalen Walker is also a great pick. He's probably a better prospect than McMillan is, and they do have defensive struggles, so it's not like they should prioritize.
Yeah, they have
receivers
struggles a
over
lot of
him.
places.
Yeah, the only place the Panthers are set is quarterback.
Yeah, which is ironic.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Bryce still has to show he can do that over a season, but he
True.
looked good.
He did. I mean, if he fails this entire year, then you can't go with him again. But like
Oh no,
I think he definitely turned a corner after he got benched.
same. That's exactly what he needed.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, but there was a report. I was going to say this earlier. I think right before my mic shut out. There was a report that this morning I saw that the Saints like Jackson Dart a lot.
Oh, really?
Yes, there was a report that if the Saints stay at 9, because there's also a report that they were going to trade down or thinking about it. If the Saints stay at 9, then he will not make it out of the top 10.
Oh, wow.
Which to me is insane. I did not even see Jackson Dart in the first round propaganda until like a week ago.
Yeah.
So, and that was only because the Steelers need a quarterback and they have pick 21.
He feels like the JJ McCarthy of this draft, where it's like he suddenly gets projected super high for like apparently no reason.
Mm-hmm. The JJ, yeah, I don't, because I also was not high on JJ McCarthy in the draft.
Yeah, me neither.
Now he did land in the perfect spot, so we'll see how that all works. But I'm not high on Dart at all.
Yeah.
I would love for the Saints to take him. I think the Saints. It depends on the Panthers pick, because you asked what would be the perfect pick for the Saints. It'd probably be Jalen Walker at 9
Okay.
if the Panthers don't take him here.
Yeah, they still have Cam Jordan, which is kind of funny.
They do have Cam Jordan. They need a new end because that defense that was so monstrous in the late 2010s is just it's all gone. The ones that aren't gone are old.
Yeah.
Jalen Walker, if the Panthers don't take him at 8, should be the Saints pick at 9. But the Panthers are probably going to pick him here.
I'm gonna stay until we get the Saints pick because that's the one that's most interesting to me. Okay, they did get McMillan. Nice. McMillan.
That does mean that my mock draft is officially wrong because I had Jalen Walker in the latest mock. But I like that. That's a good pick. I had that before him dropping all the mock drafts.
Nice. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot.
He's a really good receiver. Like he's not as fast as a lot of other receivers, which is probably a pretty big part of the reason he was falling in mock drafts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his pro comp that they're giving him is Drake London. So, which I guess explains why I like him so much. He can just grab the ball over guys. He can moss guys.
Yeah. He's super big too, or like at least long. He has like long arms, right?
He has long arms. He's long upper body. I don't know how actually tall he is, but yeah, his torso is really long. So
yeah. Oh, you cut out again. Cut out again. You're muted. You're muted.
Can I be heard now?
Okay, yeah. Now you're good.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me now?
I don't know why it's doing this. 8's live streaming.
Is it working now?
Let's see.
Bruh.
Okay. It's not playing the Wait, why is Oh, okay. That's why I can't hear anything because my headphone is disconnected. It's my headphone that's not working. Let's see. Why is
makes football easier for a young quarterback than to look out there and go, oh, I got one-on-one. I got my guy over there. I don't have to overthink this. I can go back and play pitch and catch. So I like this pick for the young quarterback, Bryce Young. Thank you very much for those two sets. Let's welcome to Prime Time, presented by Nationwide.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can. My headphone keeps disconnecting from the computer. That's what's happening.
That's weird.
Yeah. For some reason, my actual computer mic was working there, which that's the first time it's done that in forever. So, if I have to, I'll just switch headphones to a different. I forgot what I was saying when I said it was
Talking about the Saints, probably.
Yeah, the Saints. The Saints are on the clock. I think the crowd booed when they sent the Saints on the clock. Which is strange because they're in Green Bay. Schefter's on. Carr is probably the Saints pick is in. Carr is not going to play this next season.
Really?
Like,
he's done
probably,
like that?
Probably. It's not. He's done. It's not official. He's having surgery though.
They got to take Shador. They got to take Shador.
They should take Jackson Dart here. They should. Let's see. Schefter just said there's multiple quarterbacks they like here.
Okay.
Shador is being shown at his house party, and he's having a grand old time. I think he's pretty certain that it's about to be him.
Wait, Shador not at the draft?
No, he's having his own house party. I think Sanders makes the most sense here. Apparently, Kellen Moore likes Dart a lot, and that's where the Saints Dart connection comes.
Okay.
Sanders is probably just a better quarterback than Dart is.
Yeah, I don't know. I just never have a ton of confidence in these like projected second rounders throughout the whole season. They're all like white. They're white, and then at the very end of a week before the draft, they're like, oh, it's rising up everyone's draft boards. Like what?
And it's always like, I mean, sometimes I get it. Like Anthony Richardson, when he rose up, I hated it. Still do, obviously.
Yeah.
But you can say, well, he has the potential to be Cam Newton.
Yeah, he has the crazy
upside. Who does Dart have the potential to be?
Yeah, like I don't even know.
He screams like mid-tier quarterback at best to me.
Yeah,
and
he screams like Trevor Lawrence.
Quarterback.
Except
right,
like
he does.
mid Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Goodell is already coming out.
Okay.
Let's see. It should be Jalen Walker or Sanders.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Kelvin Banks Jr.
Kelvin Banks Jr. Wow.
Who is that? Oh, that's the Texas
That's
guy.
the tackle out of Texas. Yeah.
Huh.
Well, I'm glad I was trashing him then.
Yeah.
Still a really big dude. Like a big dude. Like he's still gonna be tough. He's gonna be good.
How do you pass on a quarterback though? I don't get that.
How do you pass on hey, if this is all working for Jalen Walker to be a Falcon, then I'm fine with that. But Jalen Walker should not have made it out of the top 9 picks. He's the top 10.
Yeah. Who's 10?
It's the Bears.
Okay.
And I had the Bears in mind. I had the Bears taking Kelvin Banks.
Okay.
So,
maybe the Saints quarterback talk was just like trying to get someone to trade up.
That's probably what it was, because there was also a report last night that they wanted to trade down.
Okay.
But I mean, Carr is probably not going to play this year.
I know. How do you pass on like a guy with like huge upside in Shador, who's always a good player, when you
I don't know.
you have an aging quarterback who's probably not even going to play next year?
I feel like Kevin Moore, or not Kevin, Kellen Moore. I feel like is a good guy to work with Sanders also.
Yeah, who's the Saints' backup? Who's their quarterback?
Spencer Rattler.
Bro.
I mean, he looked fine at times, but also looked trash at other times last year.
He looked mostly trash, I feel like.
He looked mostly trash. Oh yeah, hey, I defended the Saints quarterback, especially when that Rattler. That dude was annoying. I don't get that pick. I mean they've needed a tackle for a couple years now, so it's not like they're just drafting a guy they have like already good positions at.
Yeah.
I'm not huge on Banks. I had Banks going 10 just because I knew he'd be the third tackle off the board. There was a couple months ago, Banks was projected to be ahead of Campbell on a lot of
Really?
contracts. He's fallen a lot in like 7.
Dang, all of the offensive tackles are getting off the boards. The Seahawks can't take one.
This is a good O-line draft. I have Tyler Booker going also.
Who?
Because he plays Tyler Booker. He's the guard out of Alabama.
Oh, I would love a guard. Just any offensive lineman would be nice.
This is still like even after Banks, I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 4 tackles outside, or 4 offensive linemen outside of these first 3 guys in the draft. So I had 7 offensive linemen in the first round.
Oh wow!
Yeah, this is a good offensive line draft. This is a really good offensive and defensive line draft. Let's see. The Bears pick is already in.
Okay, I'm gonna stay for this one, and then I'll hop off.
Yeah. I had them taking Kevin Banks. I'm thinking Tyler Warren here, tight end out of Penn State.
Okay. Cole
Or
Kmet.
Jalen Walker.
Yeah, Cole Kmet though.
Yeah, but Tyler Warren like carried the Penn State offense at times.
Okay.
As a tight end. And it seems like based on what I've been seeing, the Bears want another offensive guy. I would take Jalen Walker here.
Okay.
Let's see. They're doing a skit, I think.
A skit?
I think so. I would show it, but I don't want the stream to get taken down.
Yeah. What are you watching on?
Xfinity stream on my phone.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah. Oh, they're announcing when the schedule is going to release, May 14th.
Oh, gotcha.
That's good for me because I'm trying to go to Charlotte for a game.
Oh, nice.
This is why day one always takes forever. Because the teams will have their pick in within like 30 seconds, and then they do this whole bit thing right here.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm thinking Jalen Walker or Tyler Warren. I don't know who else would even make sense. Unless they
because they have receivers.
Yeah. They did lose Keenan Allen.
Yeah, but like there's no receiver here that really fits.
No, the only receiver that's going to go probably in the next 10 picks is Matthew Golden.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't really like him in Chicago. Yeah, they really
watch them take Shador.
That would be hilarious. They're over Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Let's see. Goodell's coming out.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be Jalen Walker.
Yesterday, the NFL family lost a true legend.
Stephen Michael.
Steve McMichael.
R.I.P. Stephen Michael.
Who is it?
Steve McMichael, Bears Hall of Famer.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, I did see something about that.
Mm-hmm. He was also a wrestler for WCW.
Oh, gotcha.
Mongo's remarkable contributions to the game and the community will never be forgotten. His legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. 50 years ago, with the 4th pick in the 1975 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears selected one of Steve McMichael's teammates and closest friends, Walter Payton, running back, Jackson State.
It's the 50th anniversary of Walter Payton being picked.
Oh well.
Yeah.
17,000 yards.
They're doing 3 different things before this bear pick.
Bro.
13 seasons, all with the Chicago Bears. As you heard earlier, the NFL continues to honor Sweetness, not only for his performance and excellence on the field, but also his commitment to give back to his community.
Okay.
With the
Cool.
Walter Payton
I love Walter
Man
Payton.
of the Year
But still.
award.
Yeah, I mean, who
Like,
doesn't?
hey.
So with the 10th
All right, let's see.
in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Colston Loveland.
Colston Loveland,
Who is that?
the Michigan tight end.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That's not the
I
tight
would've-
end that you thought.
I thought Tyler Warren was going to go.
Okay.
That was, yeah. I mean, Loveland was good. I had Loveland going to Indiana. Or Indianapolis. Not Indiana.
Okay. Huh. I mean,
Hey,
their offense is going to be good.
Ben Johnson's their head coach. I mean, he does. He
Sam
utilizes,
Laporta,
all
yeah.
the players. Yeah. That's Laporta does make sense, or Loveland makes sense. He does kind of look like Laporta. He doesn't. I don't think he blocks as well as Laporta does.
That's weird. I don't know. I didn't see them going. I didn't really see them going tight end, but I guess it makes sense.
That's. I mean, they probably wanted one of the tackles to be there because I mean, that was a huge problem last year that they had nobody that protects Caleb.
Yeah.
But all the mock drafts that had all the tackles going before them did have them taking like a Tyler Warren, a Genty if he had fallen. Loveland's an interesting pick. I get why. He does give Laporta vibes. They said Tyler Eifert or the old Bengals tight end. I forget how to say his name. Was his comp, and that makes sense.
Okay. Huh. Their offense is going to be good, probably.
Their offenses. They still have a lot of questions though, but that's why there's 3 days of the draft. So.
Yeah. All right. I think I'm gonna hop off now. My phone's at like 15%. So.
Yeah, you probably should.
All right. See ya. Hope
All
the
right,
Falcons
see
get
ya.
somebody good.
Me too.
Not
Jalen
really.
Walker.
No. Screw the Falcons.
Oh, I hope y'all draft a quarterback.
Oh my gosh. Actually,
I hope y'all get Quinn Ewers in the first round.
if that happens, oh goodness gracious, I'll come back on here if that happens, regardless of my debate schedule. All right. See ya.
See you, man. Here. All right. The pick 11. Niners are on the clock. Oh. My Jalen Walker to the Falcons is probably over. Jalen Walker will probably be a 49er. Walker's a very versatile guy. He can play linebacker. He can play edge. I believe I've seen him drop into coverage a couple times, more than you would expect for an edge. He's the guy I want to fall 15. He's a top 10 player in the draft, I would say. He fits perfectly into the Niners defense. Especially coming off of the 6-11 record, where the defense was a bottom 4 in the league. It just makes sense for them to go Walker here. I did have them taking I don't know if I can be heard. Let's check first that I can be heard. Audio. Okay, I can be heard. I just can't hear. Why is only my mic connected? It doesn't make any sense.
You might know our freight affordability. What you might not know is performance and durability go right along with it. You see, we tap.
My headphones are trying to ruin me. Let's see.
If you keep making that face, it's going to stay like that. I'm trying to get my own car insurance. USAA. Grandpa was in the military. He shared membership with your mom so she could share with you. Easy.
Connected, it says.
If you're eligible today.
Connection mic and audio. All right. Now let's see if I can. Communications. Okay. Let's see here. So yeah, Niners on the clock. Had Will Johnson going into San Francisco. I think he fit them pretty well. But the injury concerns, obviously, we're going to drop him a bit. The Niners pick is already there. It's probably going to be Jalen Walker.
This stuff kills weeds down to the root without killing your lawn. This stuff works on dandelions, crabgrass, clover. This stuff works for up to 3 months. This stuff works guaranteed or your money back. This stuff works on big lawns, small lawns, and I guess you can call that a lawns. This stuff works without killing your lawn. This stuff works without killing your weekend. This stuff works for the rookies and the seasoned pros. This stuff works in Knoxville, Bronxville, Rockville, Marysville. This is Roundup for lawns. This
I hate when they
works.
go to commercial,
2020 by the NFL,
especially on the draft, because it's going to be bang, 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 bang. But yeah.
Super Bowl rematch for the
The Niners, I don't recall them making many defensive moves during free agency. I'm trying to see if they show. Apparently, they signed Richie Grant, Falcons legend. They love signing our defensive back. You got to wonder where Sanders is going to go now that he didn't go 9 to the Saints. Because the next spot I could see him going is maybe Seattle at 18. Yeah, Seattle at 18. He's not going to go to Tampa Bay, not going to go to Denver. Seattle and Pittsburgh really looks like the only 2 real options for him right now. Obviously, if he falls far enough, another team could and probably would trade into the first round to take him. Like, it would not surprise me if a team like the Saints did trade back into the first to take him. Honestly, maybe probably not the Jets.
Please direct your attention to the main stage video screen for a special message from United States service members stationed at Yokota Air Base in Japan.
Hello from United States Forces Japan. I'm Sergeant Mitchell Johnson. I'm here with service members from the United States Army, Marine Corps, and Navy. We're proud to announce that this year we are celebrating our 250th anniversary. We're grateful for the opportunity to partner with NFL Salute to Service and the USO in introducing the San Francisco 49ers 2025 draft pick.
Well, the San Francisco 49ers draft pick. Back to you in Green Bay.
All right. Let's see who it is.
So here comes the commissioner now with that pick. Chance of USA mixed in with the requisite booze for the Niners here.
Thank you to our men and women who serve in the United States military for your sacrifices to defend our country's freedom. With the 11th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Michael Williams.
Michael Williams.
Georgia.
Oh, the other defensive edge in Georgia. Williams was an interesting prospect. Where do I have him going in my mock? I had him going 28 to the Lions. That's a 17 pick jump. I wonder what is it about Jalen Walker that's making him fall a little. I mean, say fall a little from my predicted spot of him, but I don't think Williams was a better guy or better player than Jalen Walker was. Well, I mean, Williams. I think Williams would be good. I think. Let's see. They say violent hands. He has dynamic pass rush ability, physical length. Yeah, I mean that's all fair. 6.5 tackles for loss in each of his last 3 years, 4.5 sacks in each of his last 3 seasons. He's a good player. I think he can fit into that Niners defensive scheme now with wow, I'm blanking on his name. The Jets head coach returning, Robert Saleh. Saleh? How do you say it? Saleh. Saleh. The Jalen Walker to Atlanta agenda is very strong right now. I don't see him going. The Cowboys at 12 could take him. I don't see the Dolphins taking him. The Cowboys or the Dolphins could take him. If he survives the Cowboys or Dolphins, he is a Falcon. Tyler Warren. So this pick I had Matthew Golden going to Dallas. Don't know if I really agree with that. Matthew Golden, Taylor Warren, they both could fit in Dallas. Cowboys pick was already in. I think what's his name? I think it's Hampton, the running back out of North Carolina. He could go here also. They just really need an offensive skill player. It's already coming. I feel like the draft's going to be faster this year.
With the 12th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Booker.
Whoa, okay. Booker goes to Dallas. Okay. He was a guy that in a lot of mocks I saw him going in the late first, early or late first to mid first. I had him, like I said earlier, going 18 to Seattle. So it's a big pick there. Wow. I did not see him going up that high. There's a lot of the mock draft maker accounts, like the websites, had him projected to be a player in the 30 to 40 range. Now all the mock drafts that actually the analysts are making, he was going a lot higher, like anywhere from. I saw him go in a couple of mock drafts. Saw him go 16 to Arizona, 17 to Cincinnati. I again had him going 18 Seattle. 12 is a lot higher than I thought he would be. But I mean, he's a big guy. He played 12 games at left guard this past year. He played a game at left tackle. He only allowed 2 sacks his entire career. That is insane. That's wild. I'm not incredibly familiar with Booker. I know he's good, obviously. I think he's a good pick for Dallas also. I feel like an offensive playmaker may have made more sense here. But I mean, hey, I love seeing the big boy go front. ESPN or the Netflix grades on him is a 75 overall with a 81. I think it's a finesse in the way. I don't know. It wasn't finesse. It was something like skill. However, Booker, good pick. 26 out of 27 or 37 games. 25 games at left guard, 1 at left tackle. I think I remember hearing that the game at left tackle didn't go very well. He allowed 0 sacks this past year. Great. I can see why he went inside the big. I should have looked more on the Taylor or
I'm super excited. I'm blessed to be a Cowboy. It's a great tradition. A great offensive lineman. I'm excited to follow suit with all that came before.
They do, as he said, great tradition of offensive linemen. They do. They always have at least one great one of the best guards and best tackles in the league. So it makes sense that this is where they would go. They would like to rebuild that line that they had in the 2010s, especially with that 1 year it was 2016 with Dak and Zeke. The offensive line was really great.
Don't forget there is a Tyler, Texas.
Did Zach Martin retire? I believe Zach Martin retired, didn't he?
Yeah, this is again the run game. He is able to create movement. He is a big, strong, powerful man. A lot of these long runs you saw from Alabama, from Jalen Milroe.
He did. So I guess this is their Zach Martin replacement after how long? 11 years ago. Big Zach Martin guy. If he can, if Tyler Booker cannot get called for fouls like Zach Martin did, then he'll be great. And Martin's entire career, he'll get called for holding 7 times out of 11 years. The Dolphins are now on the clock. I have the Dolphins selecting Ja'Day Barron, I think is how you say his name, the cornerback out of Texas. Now, they could take, who are my top 10 if I'm Walker, Sanders, Will Johnson, and Golden. That's not the top 10 that's top 4. So those are the only guys that I had picked at this point that I have not picked. Sanders is not going to go to Miami. Johnson is going to fall because of health concerns. Don't see Golden here unless they were going to trade Tyreek Hill. But that doesn't seem very likely at this point. Will Johnson made a lot of sense here, especially with the rumors that Ramsey's going to be getting traded. And I could still see him going here if if the injuries aren't that much of a concern for Miami. Their pick was already in. I don't know if Jalen Walker goes here. If Walker does not go here, he better go 15.
Homes.com is the best. The guacamole? Is this for real?
It is for real. Yes. Nothing is frozen. Everything is made fresh every day. If you see an open kitchen, you gotta trust the food. It's as real as it gets.
What you see is what you get.
There's a lot of guys that could go here. The Dolphins have a lot of holes for a team that is meant to be very good. Honestly, I mean, they love offense. It would not super surprise me for them to go Tyler Warren here. I don't see it being the pick, but it could be. They should go defense. It should be Walker if they need an edge guy. I don't remember if they do or not. They do need a cornerback. Barron should probably be a pick here if they're not going to go Will Johnson because of his health concerns. I would, Barron or James Walker. You can never have too many good defensive players.
I'll never remember all this. Relax, bro. When things get intense, we get insights. What a nice cleansing surprise.
For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. Every year, Rich Eisen runs the 40 to benefit St. Jude Children's.
This has been a pretty fun draft so far. Couple surprises. Only the one trade. There was a big one. Jaguars moving up.
To see Rich Rock.
The stance pick does not make sense. I'm not just saying they're the same player. Banks. I didn't like his tape that much. He really did seem slow off the ball. He's a big boy, so he'll probably be fast off the ball to do that. And he did look great in pass protection, but he kind of looked like he would lose his steps in run prevention, especially look how big he is. He's not very fast. Based on the film I watched, I feel like his combine he looked faster than he actually was. Or his combine he looked faster than he looked on tape. Daniel Jeremiah, Jalen Warren picked at number 5 out of the top 200. He's still sitting there. I probably agree. He's definitely a top 10 player on my board. He's my number 1 player currently on board. See, the Dolphins picked Willie Gay. Not picked up, signed Willie Gay. A couple linebackers they signed, a safety. What could be the pick here? I don't see him being the pick. I could see They really just need a defensive back in general. Could see Malachi Starks going here. Could see Kenneth Grant going here. I could see the edge out of Boston College if they were going to do defense. If they're going to defense, though, probably should be Jalen Walker or Barron. Let's see.
With the 13th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Kenneth Grant.
Kenneth Grant.
Defensive
tackle of Michigan. I had Grant going 20 to the Broncos, which was never going to happen. I don't know why I chose that. He went hell. I kind of expected Grant to go anywhere from pick 10 to pick 23. He was disruptive, which as a defensive tackle, that's what you want to be. Is disruptive, cause chaos, especially on inside run plays, and he did that a lot. They're showing clips of it right now. He just ran straight to the line, not even just causing chaos, just got through. He took off. They obviously only show highlights, not the full film. Kenneth Grant, though, looks like a good player, big boy. 6.5 tackles for loss this past year, which was his career high in college. He only finished his college career with 11.5 tackles for loss, so only 5 outside of last year. 6.5 sacks in his college career. It's you have to wonder if being on the same line as a guy like Mason Graham helped him as much as like other big name prospects. Because sometimes we'll see a guy get a draft higher because there was another guy on the line that took up more focus. Grant, I'm not gonna lie, don't know how much Grant played before this season, but most of his stats coming from this season is kind of iffy. But the Colts are up now. I have been taking Tyler Warren, especially since he's still on the board. I think that was still a good pick. Tight end is probably their biggest need outside of quarterback, but they won't be taking a quarterback. If you want to get a guy for Daniel Jones or for Anthony Richardson, throw to the best pick here is Tyler Warren. It could go Matthew Golden. They have needed a receiver for a while. I don't see them going edge. I don't see them going corner. I think Tyler Warren's just the pick here. It's not the pick's already in. It just makes sense to get a little safety blanket tight end for a guy like Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones. Which means Jalen Walker to Atlanta. Jalen Walker to Atlanta. Oh, Colts. See, Goodell's already out. I feel like it's going faster this year.
With the 14th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Tyler Warren.
Tyler Warren. Jalen Walker's on the board for Atlanta. Please, Terry. Okay. Tyler Warren, great tight end. He, like I said, is a safety blanket. But he's a lot more than that. They're showing him creative uses. He ran Wildcat in college. He snapped the ball. I did not know that snap. Is that even legal? That's a flag football play. Wow. I have not seen that. Snapped the ball, ran out for a route, and caught it. Great hands for a tight end. He has a good ability to get guards up and catch. He knows how his way in open field, knows how to be elusive. He's a very good blocker, which obviously tight end's great, especially when you have a guy like Jonathan Taylor in the backfield or Anthony Richardson, like loves the run. A perfect pick for Indianapolis. They need a receiver. And Warren's the best of both worlds. He's very much like a diet Brock Bowers. He carried the Penn State offense at times.
That's why he reminds me a little bit of Travis Kelce because he's just come through no matter what.
They said Kelce. Bowers, Kittle, I believe I've seen as a comp. Wow, that's big. They're showing him in the Little League World Series, and he is towering over the rest of the children. Yeah, they give him NFL Network gives him a 92 overall rating, 85 on athleticism, and a 98 in production. That's amazing. He's also a top 10 prospect this year. If he wasn't tight end, if he was a receiver, had the same level of production, he would have been a top 10, top 5 pick. Falcons on the clock, 5 minutes remaining. So the first time in a long time they haven't just showed the team and me what's the pick is that? Makes me think either we're working on a trade down or we're still deciding. Now, Jalen Walker, unless there's something about Jalen, like maybe there's some injury concerns. I don't see why we wouldn't just go Jalen Walker here. I think he's plug and play linebacker. He can play end. He can play linebacker. People call him a tweener and say that's a bad thing, but he can play both positions. I think that is a great thing that he can play both positions. The future is here. That's Jalen Walker is the guy we should take here. I really don't see any argument to anyone else unless we get a really good offer to trade back. Tool after tool. Mike Green, he obviously 17 sacks. That's who I've had us picking this whole time. Didn't see Walker falling this far. Mike Green also obviously has the off-field allegations, which don't know how true they are or not, but there is some evidence to it since he has 2 schools for it. And the Falcons do not really draft guys who have character concerns. They don't like having that in the locker room, having that on the team. We skipped past Jalen Carter to draft Bijan Robinson a couple years ago. I skipped the line. We also Bulldogs fans will tell you all the time, don't draft Bulldogs players. We really will only draft them in the later rounds. I really think this is slam dunk pick, just the big Jalen Walker. I with the allegation Mike Green had, with the uncertainties that Stewart had, and he was very productive in college. Who else could we take? The Boston College edge. Honestly, we just don't know much about him. There's blind spots in some of my looks, and he was one of my blind spots this year. James Pierce Jr. I like him. Don't really think we'd go there. I know we liked Michael Williams, but it looks like he had fallen out compared to Stewart and Green. And obviously, he's gone now. He went 11 to the Niners. I'm looking at the mock draft. Out of all my guys I had going first round, Jalen Walker, Mike Green, Stewart, Campbell, edge out of Boston College, Donovan. Is he rookie? He brings the, you know what I'm saying? He brings the party no matter what. 2 minutes left and our pick's not in. Makes me think we're working on a trade. He really is the definition of like why he loves somebody. I love him to the death of me. I don't think we'll do it. I could see Malachi Starks filling here. I believe it was a part that we have a lot of interest in him. We're down to a minute and 30 seconds and the pick's not in. Starting to wonder what's going on. We're approaching a minute left.
And as we look in on the Falcons draft, there's Arthur Blank, Terry Fontenot, and the rest of the group there, Raheem Morris. How many times have we said Atlanta needs a pass rusher, right?
None of them really look like they're doing much. There is now a minute left.
Beasley. Look who's sitting there, the number 5 guy on your
We
draft
need
board.
Jalen Walker. I'm not even going to entertain the other options. Jalen Walker should be the guy. 40 seconds remaining.
Just saw with the Colts, where you have a player that's one of the top 5-6 players in the draft that just happens to be there when you're taking a position.
It didn't look like we were on the phone with anybody. Didn't look like we were. Take it in. All right. This is the time to go defense. I know last year I was all in on defense. Actually, Cousins signing, I think it was. But Penix, after how everything went down last year, the Penix pick looks good in hindsight. The Cousins signing looks bad in hindsight. Didn't look amazing then, but hey, we're rocking now. We're moving ahead. The team looks better. Penix looked good. He has 2 great young playmakers. Our defense sucks. We had the second least sacks in the league last year. We haven't had a good defense. I think we've had a top 10 defense maybe twice in my lifetime. So we need to go defense here. We had a guy who is a top 10 player fall into our lap.
Arizona is close to 90 ticks into making their selection. 16th overall. Once that's made, we'll be halfway through the first round. Still haven't gotten another quarterback selected since first overall. Daniel, looks like you want to say something. I'm just looking at this with Jalen Walker. Not only the best available, it fits.
Walker just makes sense here.
Houston did it in one draft. They got C.J. Stroud. They got they got great players at positions of need, and they were leaders of each side of the ball.
And having the face of your defense and a new face of your offense same year. We take Walker here next year to be really fun. Kiddo's coming out. All right.
Oh. With the 15th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Jalen.
Let's go.
Georgia.
Sometimes you just don't overthink it, right?
Let's go. Let's go. I thought he had no chance falling this far. I made many a comment recently on social media saying that he had no chance of falling in the top 10. He fell outside the top 10. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Falcon. Let's go. We get our we get our hype. Like, as much as the Bulldogs fans hate that we don't get Bulldogs players, what do we do now? They were right about this. When Walker is a dog, a absolute dog, he can change our defense. He's fast. He's powerful. He's shifty. I love it. Love it so much. That worked out perfectly for us. If there's one thing Terry can do in his time as our GM, it's draft first round picks. Kyle Pitts, obviously, been disappointed outside of his first season. I don't think that's really predictable, and I wouldn't put that one on Terry. Terry's problem has always been after the first round, but he hasn't played a snap of pro football yet. But this seems like another hit for Terry, which would put him at 4 out of 5 if you're counting pitches a miss. Which actually, yeah, you should. Hype.
2 buzzkill type.
No, you went there. I'm just saying this is a positive for them.
See.
And I'm just telling you, for the Falcons, no more worried about Vic Beasley, no more worried about John Abraham. Jalen Walker comes in, and maybe he's their new guy.
Love this.
There's a member of the
I love it.
We welcome Monty Ossenford to the scene. He's on the phone right there. There's Jonathan Blank and the rest of the brass there in Arizona.
I'm actually stunned that just happened.
They did a nice job in free agency on the defensive side. I'm looking that up. I think they.
Okay. The Cardinals. The Cardinals. I had the Cardinals taking in this pick. Shamar Stewart. I would not be surprised if they went Mike Green. I think Mike Green. This is a good spot for him. They need it, and I still think Stewart could be in play here. Stewart, Campbell, Green. Those are probably the three guys that we're looking at here. Barron could go here also. I'm Matthew Golden, maybe. I feel like Golden maybe can fall to like first and maybe the second round now that the Cowboys didn't take him. I'm putting Matthew Golden across from Marvin Harrison Jr. was pretty great, but I feel like sometimes the end is just more important. I feel like here.
Mr. Arizona, take it away. I tell you what you guys are talking about on the offensive side of the ball. So we've got Marvin Harrison on the backside. They can be a receiver. You got Trey McBride there with the Cardinals, and I'd love to have one of those speed guys on the other side, get down the field, stretch it, and also lead those one-on-ones on the backside for Kyler Murray. So if they go and get one of those speed receivers, this offense is shaping up as skill guys for Kyler Murray. 30 seconds into the Cardinals being on the clock, the pick is in and wants to
this is.
What do you think the story is?
I'm really distracted now. I'm just the Jalen Walker.
Congrats again to the and also Shedeur Sanders. No Shedeur Sanders so far, and this is kind of what we started hearing as the draft became closer and closer. Is that not only is it going to fall?
Okay, the Cardinals pick is in. Okay, official guess. Going to say it's Mike Green. If the rumors about the Mike Green fall are real, which Danny John and I did before, and he's usually the most reliable draft reporter. Then he will probably fall to the second round, maybe even a late first. See a team trade into him for him. Maybe even see a team like the Eagles draft him. It's that's to win. Can't stop thinking about that. Jalen Walker don't get jersey. Okay. The Cardinals pick here. It's Stewart or Green. I think. If Green falls, it's Stewart.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Walter Nolan, defensive
I don't know
tackle.
anything. Walter Nolan. Okay. I had Walter. I had Nolan going 24 to the Vikings. That's a good pick. He's good. He's a big dude, about 300 pounds, 6'4". See, up to burst, huge upside. Yeah. That's see, explosive knockback. Nolan was also a guy that I hadn't put a lot of thought into.
He's got a lot of pop in his hands. We saw that at the Reese Senior Bowl as well. Again, someone who likes to penetrate.
He looks pretty disruptive.
Play up the field. That is his 100% goal.
Good movements.
Is to get on an edge and get up the field.
6.5 sacks, 14 tackles for loss last year. 11.5 sacks and 25 tackles for loss, and it's a career for him. He looks pretty decent. I'm not see him going to Arizona. I saw them taking my edge because I believe no one was an interior D line guy. I'm maybe even don't know.
You might know Harbor Freight for affordability. What you might
It seems like
know
it seems like a decent
performance
pickup.
and durability go right along with it. You see, we test and then we test again. World-class engineering and rigorous testing to ensure our tools perform at the highest level and stand the test of time without testing your wallet. Now it's time for
So
you to put
now
us to the test.
it is the Bengals on the board. I have them taking Jihad. The linebackers from Alabama.
This is right. You know, they say
Uh,
look good, feel good, play good. I trust it
Not
Invisalign
well.
because I truly have my smile exactly how I've always wanted it. Invisalign, trusted by the pros.
Bengals need defense. Bengals need defense for years. Bengals neglect their defense.
Check out the new whip. I fully custom.
The defense and the line just aren't
Many Bud Lights
good in Cincinnati.
A lot of Bud Light.
I don't see them going on here. They should have gone on previous drafts. But
Will be released soon.
this is a great year for the defense. Like what we just saw without pressure for the first time since technically. So I don't think the first round. Campbell is I believe he's recovering from injury right now, but he seems like a kind of a guy that could fit multiple different needs for Cincinnati. I believe he's a linebacker, but I believe he can come off the edge. Want to say he ran more middle. I recall correctly. Let's see what this article has to say about.
University of Maryland Global Campus isn't just an innovator.
13 games for Alabama. He earned second team All American honors after racking 117 tackles, 11.5 for a loss. 5 sacks, 3 batted on balls, 2 forced fumbles. 117 total tackles is Alabama's single season record, which I mean that's tough to do at Alabama.
No application fee if you apply by May 30th at umgc.edu.
He's going to be a really good player, I believe.
Every day, more than 3,000
I
people
think this
reach
is
out to us.
a slam dunk pick for Cincinnati if they do go with Campbell.
24/7 to provide safety planning, support, and
Scored
connection
a total of
to
82
local
at the
resources
combine, which
such
was
as
first
shelter,
initial
legal
linebackers.
assistance, and counseling. The hotline wants you to know what you feel is valid. Abuse in
USA
any
Today
form,
had him going
it's
14
never okay. And we're
to
here for
Colts,
you
19
24 hours a day.
Tampa Bay. ESPN had 32 to the Eagles. So it had 19 to Tampa Bay. Most picks seem to say Tampa Bay. I see him going to Cincinnati here. Him, especially with Kenneth Grant off the board. They need a defensive player. Campbell, edge out of Boston College, to go here. Donovan Zuka. I don't see them taking Stewart. I feel like they shouldn't. They're taking a project guy that not fit the Bengals. Smith Pierce Jr. could also be a pick here. I feel like I see him going later in the first.
My understanding is the Seahawks are interested in getting out of this pick, certainly open to trading back.
Seahawks are open to trading back.
A very positive visit. They are right there. So this could be the window for some teams, maybe the Giants, maybe a quarterback needy team, we don't know, maybe the Rams, trades up over the Steelers to try to get Shedeur Sanders. Something to watch for over the next couple minutes. Well, this tracks also with your mock draft, DJ. Last night, your call was that the Giants would trade back into 18 with Seattle as a trade partner for Jackson Dart. Yeah, I was going to say, the only caveat was it wasn't for Shedeur, it was for Jackson Dart. So who knows which quarterback they prefer. But I knew Seattle, John Schneider, he loves those day 2 picks. And with a lot of their needs, they marry up well on day 2.
It makes sense for Seattle to trade back here, or trade back at 18. As the broadcast is saying, Seahawks GM loves day 2 picks. which in this draft, safety picks are great. So I wish the Dolphins had another reason why. I see the thing was going with Campbell. And if the Seahawks do trade out of pick 18, I do wonder who they would go there. Steelers tried to trade up, or maybe another team tried to trade up above the Steelers to take quarterback. Sanders is on the board. I don't see where he goes. Yeah, Barnes trade up.
The house band is done. We can get the house
With the 17th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Shamar Stewart, defensive end, Texas A&M.
Okay, Stewart.
I'm not surprised to see him go defense here. This defense last year.
I don't like that big. I'm not a big Stewart fan. You don't. It's hard to not put up production in college. You can put it up in the NFL. Just flat out. And he obviously showed a lot of flashes of a better player than he is.
This is a classic traits, disruption versus production.
As they're saying, his disruption is better than production. I believe he only finished the. Let's see. He finished his collegiate career. Stats. Stewart, college.
And he plays with unrelenting energy and effort, and someone who is very beloved in that program. I think he got up to about 280 last year. I liked him better at the 265.
He finished his 3 years at Texas A&M with 4.5 sacks. Being a pretty consistent player for 3 seasons off the edge at Texas A&M, especially when they have 2 guys that can go in the first round here, and not putting up any much production, not getting any more than 2 sacks a year, is bad. He's not interesting to me as a prospect. He feels very defensive version of Richardson, and obviously it's easier for defensive guys. Jaden, if you mean the Seahawks are about to be on the board. They are looking to trade their pick, as it was just reported, probably to another team looking for Sanders because he's fallen to 18. The Bengals just picked Shamar Stewart. Don't like the pick. I feel like there's multiple other guys that work better for this team. Contenders should not draft project players for the most part in the first round. And I have to imagine that this is just because there were guys that the Bengals wanted, like maybe like Kenneth Grant, Walker Nolan, guys like that who went early. Michael Williams, like I don't feel like Stewart was anybody's first pick. I feel like he's a backup guy that has a lot of potential.
Who spent time at the professional level as well as in college, developing these young guys is going to be a key part of their success. Tampa's on the clock. Seattle may have wanted to trade out, but they didn't. Their pick is in. We're going to get their pick in short order. And
Seahawks pick is in. I mean, they could take Sanders. I don't think they will. I haven't taken Tyler Booker, who went 12 to the Cowboys. Defensive-minded head coach. They could go Malvez Starks. They could go Campbell. Gray's a Bill. I think he said his name out of North Dakota State. He's the only other offensive lineman I can see going here, unless they just really overshot for Josh Conley. I mean, it could happen.
register when they don't really believe what they're saying. And they go, nothing, I'm real happy.
That's at least an octave. Sometimes you just have to go best player available, and I feel like the Seahawks may have just done that here. Which best player available here is Matthew Golden, maybe? Matthew Golden. They can go Campbell, they can go Golden, they can go Barron. Will Johnson still on the board, obviously. Some team is either going to pick him in the late first or early second. Let's see who the Seahawks take.
With the 18th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Gray Zabel.
Gray Zabel.
Guard, North Dakota
They
State.
took a guard. Matic must be ecstatic right now.
There's some reasons on the screen. 5-position flex. He's played tackle.
How do I do a podcast with two Seahawks fans? Neither of them are here for the Seahawks. Gray Zabel. Zabel. He was another guy that he just came on the radar recently. I had him going to the Texans, I believe, at 25. Yes, he did. But I'm telling you, it probably was the picture for Seattle, but him going 12. Changes that. He had a great combine. They were just saying that he had the ability to play center from his very potential there. But he played left tackle at North Dakota State. He's a little undersized, I believe, at tackle. I could see him playing left guard. It does say he's a guard on his selection. I think he'll be a guard for Seattle. I think that's a great pick for as a whole. Buccaneers are now on the clock. I think here we could see Campbell going. That's another spot for him. Campbell, as a Boston College. I've had time to learn his name. I realized. Campbell, Donovan out of Boston College. Could see Malachi Starks here, I believe. I don't know how their safeties are. I should, because I was playing this year, but they also rushed.
I'll never remember all this. Relax, bro. When things get intense, we get inside.
I had Loveland going 26 here. He went 10. I didn't even check that when he got drafted here. Let's tally up. A little break while we wait for the Buccaneers to come back from commercial. Got the first pick rate based on position, not based on team. First pick rate, second pick rate. Third pick,
Well, how
third
can we
pick
not
rate,
say it?
fourth pick
That's our
rate,
new name.
fifth pick rate. Sixth pick right, seventh pick right, got the eighth pick wrong, ninth pick wrong, 10th pick wrong, 11th pick wrong, 12th wrong, 13th wrong, 14th right. I got 15 wrong, I got 16 wrong, and I got 17 wrong, and I got 18. So far, 8 out of 18. I don't think it's really that bad. 8 out of 18 so far. We'll like that.
Toll has a little bit of everything. With a Sapphire Reserve card, you have access to all of it. Whether you're the world's finest honeycomb shoe,
I think that's a good pick for the Seahawks. I don't know how much, or I don't know much about Zabel. His name. North Dakota State is a factory for putting out talent compared to most of the FCS. Obviously, we had two very good quarterbacks, two very good quarterback prospects come out of there in the past 10-ish years, which for an FCS program is pretty rare. Actually, unheard of, really.
You gotta be kidding me.
And really, the biggest part about that pick is Seahawks had a need, and they filled the need. They had a guard. If you've listened to any of our NFL episodes, or listened to Maddox, James talk about the Seahawks at all, the offensive line play has been horrible for the Seahawks. And that was a big reason for Darnold's success in Minnesota is that he had very good line play. And you're not going to get out of a season like that with Sam Darnold without good line play. I think that's probably the perfect pick for them. Obviously, they probably would have rather had Tyler Hilger. But you take what you can get. See, the Buccaneers pick is in. I believe this is going to be Campbell, which sucks for me as a Falcons fan. I think it's looking like Sanders is going to be a Steeler at this point, which Steelers are DK Metcalf, George Pickens, and Shedeur Sanders on the same team. That Mike Tomlin's going to have to.
Hey, listen, one more time, as Shedeur is now about to, we assume, drop to at least the 20th overall pick in this draft.
Tampa Bay.
Choose him.
Let's see. They could go Mike Green. They could go Mike Green. They could go Campbell. They could go again. Boston College. They could go Starks. They could go Pierce. They could go Nolan. They really should just go defensive here. They've re-signed Godwin. It's a pretty big contract. Re-signed Godwin. Kept Mike Evans. The tight end, I'm blanking on his name right now, but he is good. They signed Hassan Reddick, I think is what it just said, for a 1-year deal. I think that could be big for them. They can do that. They can have Campbell with that defense. Their defense was not good next year. They won the division. Falcons fell apart, but their defense was not good. Any of these defensive guys would help forward would help them immensely.
With the 19th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver.
Okay. Emeka Egbuka, the Ohio State receiver. I don't think I had him in my first round, which is kind of insane. He probably had the idea that there's only 2 receivers drafted in the first round. It's kind of insane. We'll probably see Matthew Golden go in the next 12 picks. Wow. Emeka Egbuka, he's a good receiver. He's been a staple at Ohio State. Except their school record for most catches in his career. As they're showing here on the podcast, he's a tough blocker. He is really good at picking up yards in space. There's space he can maneuver around and get in. This feels like a strange pick with them just re-signing Godwin. A pick like this last year would have made more sense. But I mean, also, past year you saw both Mike Evans and Chris Godwin go down.
The brotherhood. That's what they call their position room. And no one personifies the brotherhood better than Emeka Egbuka. He's a man of strong faith and strong character that runs lean routes, great hands.
It's a confusing thing, I would say. Mike Evans isn't slowing down. Godwin just got signed to a big contract. It's different than the JSN pick with the Seahawks. Because, I mean, when JSN got picked by the Seahawks, I feel like it was a decent idea. Not confirmed, but a decent idea that DK could get traded in his contract year. He got traded to the Steelers, signed by extension. It was decent that Tyler Lockett was going to get or the Tyler Lockett time when Seattle was coming down. And I imagine they didn't think they would trade DK at the time, but Tyler Lockett was getting older. You needed a replacement for him. The JSN pick made sense there. I don't think this is a bad pick because Mega Booga is a good player. Just don't know if this pick that makes sense for Tampa Bay. We're now in the part of the draft where they go after in between every pick. So now the Broncos are on the clock. There's 3 minutes left. They have not made a selection. I had them taking Kenneth Grant here. He obviously went earlier. With the Dolphins, I want to say. I'm already forgetting who.
Sometimes growing pains.
So it needs food? Full
Where
sun.
people got drafted.
Plant these together. It's for you.
Grow your dream garden with Milo's
Those
knows how to help you spread. Verizon Small Business Days are back. Our experts
Welcome in.
closer than you think. Yes, great. Nice surprise, huh? Ready to help. Serving up deals, advice, wherever you are. Even on the job.
Hey. Hi.
Making sure all your tech.
Let's take a look.
Take a look here.
April 21st to 27th.
Oh, that's not.
Get started today.
Okay.
Check out the new whip. I fully custom. Pretty Bud Lights can fit there. As many Bud Lights as it takes. A lot of Bud Lights.
Yes, can't get they go to Miami. Thought so.
The code is 9914.
I just don't know how I feel about that.
I got a pretty nice bathroom in there, just in case you need it.
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home when you bundle with us.
And obviously, I'm questioning the pick now and then next year. The Falcons can play the Bugs, and the Bugs will have like 50 yards receiving, and it's hard great. But
we lead, others follow.
I don't see how that makes them
What makes
a
that
better
iconic?
team. Really,
It's a feeling.
wide receiver did seem like a hole for Tampa Bay.
Every moment.
And I guess they needed a wide receiver 3, but they didn't need one that bad where they take the first round and they have their top 2 guys locked down.
But most important, it's the destination.
I don't know.
With your iconic stadium.
Broncos on the clock.
Turn the off season on again.
They had a top 3 defense last year. They added Drake Kinlaw and the safety from San Francisco. I forget his name, but 2 very good players.
That was when I started building my
I feel like this would be a good spot for anyone to trade up. I don't think that the Broncos are going to be trading out of pick 20. I think their pick may even be in. They just said, so I feel like that Sanders is going to be a pick or a Steeler. Broncos, they're either going to go, I believe his name Hampton in North Carolina. Or,
Welcome back to Green Bay.
I don't know. Yeah, Marion Hampton. That's probably who we go here. They had a horrible running back room, just like the Raiders did last year. They were the best running backs in college football. It's simple fix. They don't need to go defense here. They have a very good defense. I don't really see anybody else that they could pick here. I don't believe they need a safety. If they did, Malcolm Starks would be a good pick here. But they'll probably just go with Hampton.
We know we had a good visit. We know he's now available. We do not know if the Steelers are going to pick him. My understanding is, as of yesterday, they were going back and forth. Is the value worth it? Split in the room. We will see what decision they make.
Split in the room. Well, the draft room is about to get the 20th overall selection. The Steelers are 90 ticks in now into their clock time for the 21st overall pick. Again, they don't have a second round selection. That went to Seattle for DK Metcalf. They're waiting on Aaron Rodgers. But in the meantime, here comes the commissioner with a special guest to announce the Broncos selection.
April is World Wish Month, and the NFL is proud to support changing wishes that Make-A-Wish grants. Yes. One of those wishes will be coming true right now. Sam is a 17-year-old Broncos fan who has bravely battled cancer. His wish is to announce the first-round draft pick for his favorite team. Please join me in cheering on Sam as his wish comes true. Take it away, Sam. With the 20th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Jahdae Barron, DB, Texas.
Today, G. Barron. He had fallen. I forgot about him. It's a good pick. They both are already very good defensive room. It's a good guy to pair with Patrick Tam. Yeah, good pick. Broadcast gives him confidence. He has good ball skills. Which, yeah. This is the guy I believe. I'll forget random players' names, but I believe this is who I had picked to be the best cornerback.
This guy simply doesn't miss tackles. He is
I think it was my head's forgetting things. But the best cornerback award, I believe. Best defensive back, that's Hunter won. I believe I had Barron winning that. It's a good fit for him.
When they faced Michael Penix in the national semifinal, Penix ate him up. If you remember, he was elusive and ate up that secondary. And Jahdae Barron came back. They got Andrew Makuba from Clemson, and guys, they were transformed in a lot of ways because of Barron.
Yeah, this is
Barron
a
in that
good looking
secondary
defense
did
now.
as good a job of anybody against Jeremiah Smith in Ohio State. And now with this defense, which was, I thought, a very good defense, most of the season.
Yeah, this may be the best defense in football next year. They had top 3 defense, I believe, in Greenlaw. They had a safety from San Francisco. They added Barron. Good. This is the part where the draft gets. Draft finished. I don't think I got a single pick right the past couple. So it's been pretty interesting so far. Still isn't a quarterback. Shedeur Sanders is there on the board. A lot of people had him going in the top 10. There was times where people had him only going in the top 2.
Pittsburgh. I don't know if this is a live shot or not.
Makes sense.
But it does look like Shedeur is waiting. This is moments ago.
Tomlin was on the phone.
If it doesn't happen here,
doesn't look like Shedeur is on the phone. Unless they're just not showing that. Which it's not Shedeur, like the broadcast just said. Dart, maybe? I don't like Dart. Can't. They don't need a defensive player, but they probably do at some position. But they don't have a quarterback. I think their top quarterback is Mason Rudolph, I want to say. And I mean, Sanders is on the board.
Or they have an absolute plan because if you're not taking one here,
it has to be Sanders.
And still take a quarterback. You're not taking one here. You're telling your fans you got a plan in place. Now, look, I'm just telling you guys, if you went back and read my Kenny Pickett report, his strengths and weaknesses lined up with Shedeur's strengths and weaknesses as a player. They took one ride on that roller coaster in this portion of the draft. I don't know that they're going to do that again. What a monster moment.
That's fair. That's fair. We'll say he's a faster player than Kenny Pickett is. I don't know who it is. or not live, but they said Sanders matched up pretty well. Let's see who they get.
The Pittsburgh Steelers select Derek Harmon.
Wow.
Defensive tackle.
Derek Harmon. Okay, defensive tackle out of Oregon. Very, very good defensive tackle. He has, wow. He has quick hands. He's disruptive, which was what he wanted a defensive tackle. Good against the run. He also has stab and read.
You see his quickness. He was at Michigan State.
There's Sanders go. Sanders going to fall to the second round? Big guy. He's hard to block for pass rush. I've never just saying. Who else is? I'm really out of it now because pick 22 and Sanders is I think yeah. I feel like I like Sanders. I said it earlier. He's annoying. He's a little overrated. Should not have his jersey retired at Colorado. But I like him. I think he is a good football player, and sometimes that matters more. The Chargers are on the clock. I had them taking Millen, who obviously went to 8 to the Panthers. You could see the Chargers taking Matthew Golden here. They need a receiver. They do need a receiver. I think Matthew Golden makes sense here.
I'll never remember all this. Relax, bro.
I mean, I don't know. There's 6 minutes on the clock. The Chargers don't have their pick in. Could be a trade here. He's not going to go to Green Bay. He's not going to go to Minnesota. Not going to go to Houston. May go to LA, but probably not. Not Baltimore, not Detroit, not Washington, not Buffalo, not Kansas City, and not Philadelphia. Huh. Sanders may fall to the second round.
This stuff kills weeds down to the root without killing your lawn.
This is
stuff works on dandelions, crabgrass, clover.
day 2 could be very interesting because if he does fall to the second round, how far is he falling? The Browns have the first pick tomorrow night, and I could definitely see them taking that pick.
Oregon's official ambassador has opened a new world for me. Now you can hang out with NFL fans all season long.
I was pretty certain that the Steelers were going to go Sanders there. Who's going to be quarterback for Pittsburgh? But the broadcast is saying you don't pick Sanders. You're saying you have a plan, which makes sense because
it's always football season. The pro football
you're not going to get deep into the year with no plan at quarterback. I really shouldn't be able to draft without playing without a quarterback.
Backed by popular demand, we'll host our annual Memorial Day weekend celebration.
Which means maybe Rodgers is going to be a Steeler?
And tickets are on sale now for the Concert for Legends, featuring Diamond certified rock band Nickelback. Plan your visit to the Pro Football Hall of Fame today.
Hear that? That's the sound.
Okay. 4 minutes left for the Chargers. They still have pick in.
Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
I could see Will Johnson going here if it wasn't for the injuries. I don't know how far he's going. I don't know how bad the injury is. I don't know how far he's going to fall. Campbell could go here. DJ had him ranked 12th out of the top 200. Now pick 22. He's not taken yet. Kind of surprised Hampton didn't go to the Broncos. Matthew Golden is still probably my pick here, though. They need a receiver. They could go Campbell though, and they lost Bosa. They lost Bosa getting a new pass rush guy. Yeah, I keep losing track trying to figure out where Sanders is going to go. Because I mean, as annoying it is to see Sanders all the time, like seeing him get his jersey retired because his son is annoying, but he's interesting. He is. It'd be like if Lamelo or if Lonzo Ball fell in the draft a couple years ago in the NBA. Whether you like him or not, it's interesting. His career is interesting. It's still Deion Sanders' son. Everybody wants to know where. A lot of people want to know where he's going.
The other one I'm staring at, you think that Jesse Minter and company are familiar with Bill Johnson, who has kind of slid down, and it's proof of concept. They've seen him in their defense.
Harbaugh is the head coach of Los Angeles, the Chargers. Will Johnson would make sense here, as the broadcast is saying. Jesse Minter is the defensive coordinator there, I believe. It would make a lot of sense for Will Johnson to go to the Chargers, but their receiving calls are trading down. May trade down, but if they do trade down, I think Johnson would be a great pick later in the draft, or maybe second round.
Concerns about his longevity. That is why he has fallen. Not as much the speed thing, more the concerns about his knee.
Well, coming off the national championship season, folks were talking about a top 5 pick for Will Johnson. Well, if he was healthy, he would have been. Right? Would you agree with that? Up there.
Well, at one point, how bad does someone have to be for a top 5 candidate to fall that far?
Maybe he's not a fit for us. The Chargers.
The knee is very important, obviously, for cornerback. But especially with a team like the Chargers with so much Michigan guys on the staff.
You call their games on the radio. What do you think?
I think if they don't trade back, it maybe Will Johnson here. Campbell also. I think Campbell. With the Will Johnson knee concerns, Campbell probably should go ahead of him. But I mean, if the knee concerns are rated, then a lot of teams are missing out on a guy that is a top talent in this draft. Campbell, I'm gonna say Campbell, Will Johnson, Matthew. Those are the 3 guys that could be here. They have 10 seconds.
They don't mind bringing in those guys. Taking this down to the final seconds. That didn't look like a phone call, celebratory phone call with whoever they just selected. So, I don't know.
Their time right now.
Still on the clock for some reason. Green Bay now is, so we're gonna. That's why the fans just.
Okay.
Still in that. He's the fastest one.
Matthew Golden made a lot of sense here. That they need a receiver. Matthew Golden, Vlad McConkey. So that is a great combination.
And then you look at the tight end is Mason Taylor from LSU. So we could go Jason Taylor's son. We can go also defensively if he does want to go into Michigan. And Will Johnson. And there's Hampton as well. Off-the-ball linebacker, some believe he could rush off of the edge. They've got stud young off-the-ball linebackers that they really like there. So that one, he's a great player. I love him. I just don't know for them exactly how we would fit their value at this point. And similar to Will Johnson, there was a few flags thrown up about the injury situation.
Campbell and Johnson probably both falling due to injury concerns. I think this will be Matthew Golden. I don't think they'll take Will Johnson because of the injury concerns. Although it makes sense, they probably would healthy Will Johnson. They would probably kill the game. But you don't want to draft a guy and give him his big rookie contract. apologize, but and him not be able to play due to an injury you knew about.
Here comes the commissioner with the pick, and after this, there's only 10 more picks tonight. Meaning only 10 more draft picks with a fifth year's contractual control that goes along with it. Something to keep in mind with only one quarterback off the draft board prior to this pick.
With the 22nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Omarion Hampton.
Marion Hampton. Okay. Did not see them going running back.
On the powder blue. Yeah, he was my top available offensive player left. Omarion Hampton.
He's a very good running back. I really think it's wrong to take him. They just had a pro comp with Jonathan Taylor. There's very few running backs. I would rather be compared to. He has good shiftness in the back. Powerful runner like Jonathan Taylor. Kind of his speed in the back and all that. It kind of gives Barkley vibes. Harrison Hampton. Pretty good 1-2 punch there. And Harbaugh is a runner. Running head coach. Yeah, his offense relies on a good run game. And the offensive weapon is good for Los Angeles. All right, Packers on the clock. Hometown of the draft. I have Jim Pierce Jr. going. Let's see here. Campbell has fallen about 6 picks from where I thought he would go. So let's see him going to Green Bay here. Mike Green is still on board. I think James Pierce Jr. makes the most sense for the Packers, though. He is they need an end and a powerful second end. So I think.
Where the first ever Green Bay Packer pick to be made in Green Bay. So moment is finally here. What do you think is happening?
Again, I don't see them taking either. Manowar, I think is his name, the safety out of South Carolina. Don't see them taking on Starks, taking out Georgia.
These years, we're saying first round, they refused to do it. What? Maybe they just didn't want to play a road game. Maybe they wanted to bring the draft to them and make it a little bit bigger moment. Who was it from Florida State that Javon Walker? Where'd you go? 2002? Yeah, who Brett Favre famously basically told him to stop holding out. Remember that? That was a big moment when Javon Walker did hold out. And that was the last time they took a wide receiver in the first round. They have taken pass catchers in the first round.
They're taking a wide receiver since 2003. And Matthew Golden, they take. I mean, I guess they do need a receiver, but I mean, I don't know. Golden. That is a pretty good speed weapon for Jordan Love. And if there's one thing we saw last year, I don't think the weapons, Bernie Dobbs and not the one Adams. Jaden Reed, Christian Watson. That's who I was trying to think of. None of those guys are really completely stuck out. I mean, adding another. I don't know if Matthew Golden's a guy that is going to stick out. Packers don't have a number one receiver, and I mean, you can win without a number one receiver. the Chiefs have won 2 Super Bowls without them obviously really, but they had Travis Kelsey.
Which means there are 10 more picks that have a fifth year of contractual control associated with it.
The Bears are getting better. The Lions are one of the best teams. The Vikings just had a great year with a journeyman quarterback as their starter. After he was thrust into the role with the rookie quarterback, tearing his Achilles, I believe.
Since then, the Giants win. They chose undercover instead of the Saints when Calvin Banks Jr. instead of the quarterback. Texas Tech and the Mexico, the Steelers had defensive tackle Derek Harmon out of Oregon instead of the quarterback as well. So these teams with young quarterbacks in the league that they believe in, they're supporting them in this draft. That's a theme of this draft.
It would make sense for it to be Matthew Golden. Let's still 2 months on the clock because it's not. Again, the Chargers were in calls. I believe the second draft were in calls. Packers are all doing handshakes. Usually means it picks in, obviously. That does not lead me to believe that they've done a trade.
This division is going to need to score points.
Yeah. With the other teams getting better, you're going to need a couple of offense, and the Packers don't have one of those. Matthew Golden would make the rest of it. Still could see them taking that. It's now down to a minute and 8 seconds. Packers still not putting their pick. They already up. Is that it? Let's see. Vikings on the block. Thank you, Matthew Golden.
On his dad's shoulders with his Reggie White jersey, so he can see over this crowd to find out who the Packers are going to take. I mean, yeah, I see it. It's really cool, man. Packers geared up. So many.
The Vikings. I had the Vikings taking that. Could see them taking Campbell. Could see them taking Pierce. Could see them taking the edge of Boston College.
Respect for the young lady with the Brian Branch jersey standing up next to this crowd.
The funniest outcome is the Vikings took Sanders. I also see the Vikings trading down. If anybody does want some. Because, I mean, obviously, there's teams that are interested in Sanders. They have been calling. There's been reports of calls and trade talk, and all of these teams are taking the next trade could have been paid. I'm assuming it's not as good as showing it's a good draft. Maybe it's not talking about. Let's see here.
Green Bay, it's your time. This historic pick. Please give it up for first team All-Pro, Pro Bowler, 2-time Super Bowl champion, and Packers president and CEO, Mark Murphy.
How about this atmosphere? Isn't it unbelievable? Roger, thank you in the NFL for bringing the draft here to Green Bay for the best draft in the history of the NFL. On behalf of the Packers, Packer fans here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and everywhere, because our fans are everywhere, It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the NFL Draft at Lambeau Field. It is our honor and privilege to host this wonderful event in our community, particularly since we are the only community-owned team in the NFL.
Really hate when that numbers come out just talking about the team. It's different than like when the players come out, like the trash talk on TV. The fans.
We have with our fans that dates back to the early days of professional football. With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002,
Matthew Golden.
Listen to this, baby. Matthew Golden.
Yep. Matthew Golden. I mean, it makes sense. They need a more explosive offense. Golden. If there's one word to describe him, it's explosive. That's a really good pick for them. Okay, my tally from pick 18. We're now down to pick 24 in the Vikings on the clock. I've gotten 0 correct. Yeah, 0 correct in the past 5. So 8, 4, 23. Had a really good run at the start. Out of my 8 correct picks, the first 7 were the correct ones, and it's also me counting Brown and Jags picks. Because I selected Hunter 2, the Browns at 2. He still went 2 with the Jags. Okay. It's a big pick for them. 500 plus receiving yards in each of his last, or 2 of his last 3 seasons. Brian Cooks for Tom. Yeah.
This is someone who ran 4.29, but not just a speed receiver. You see a lot of snap in his routes. Watch him when he gets to the top.
I don't know if Cooks ran 4.29.
First, he shows out of the break point. How about the ball skills? Look at this catch. Go out and get that with one hand. That'll be well received with this crowd here.
It's a good pick. They have needed a receiver since Adams left.
Let me get a green back 3, 1, 2, 3. He doesn't know the go back go yet. He went 1, 2, 3 green back. He hasn't gotten the hand yet. Like we'll do it differently come preseason. Sorry, you're in the middle of all that. The kid on the bicycle will teach him on the first day of camp. He'll be all right. I just love this kid. To me, when you look at coming from the University of Houston, he gets to Texas. There's other guys you thought that offense would fall through.
Looking for that. He's the Vikings on the clock.
Where does Quinn Ewers go at the Rock to save their season? This guy. And I want to get back very quickly. Joel brought this up. In this division, you've got to score points to keep up. Minnesota's going to score points. Detroit's going to score points.
May have to move soon, but that'll happen when it happens. The Vikings, I complimented multiple, or I thought about multiple different D linemen going there. James Pierce Jr. can make sense. I had Walter Nolan on there. Obviously, he went a lot higher. He went 16 to Arizona.
Yeah, it was all a part of the plan, man. God let me wait this long.
Could see James Pierce Jr. here. Could see Campbell here. Could see the Boston College edge. Eventually, these guys that I keep saying every single pick are going to get picked. Malcolm Starks, I could see him here. I think that would actually fit really, really well. Siobhan Revel, I think he says his name. I could see him here.
Brian Gutekunst on my show yesterday. Next after him was Matthew Bowman. And then when Gutekunst got up out of the chair and she walked over to it, they hugged each other like they met each other. It wasn't their first time meeting. No idea at the time that would be 24 hours later. The first wide receiver taken by a Green Bay Packers.
How about the Senate flagship commercial?
In Matthew Bowman's
I'll take
lifetime,
it in.
because he was born the year after Javon Walker was taken first. That's all found by the pack. The Rich Eisen show bringing people together. I'm just trying. There's a neat moment right
No, I'm not here then. Okay. So if I can pick it in, get it wired back out. I'm gonna say let's just start it.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Donovan Jackson, guard.
Oh, okay, Donovan Jackson. Okay, that's a good pick. I debated him going 32 for the Eagles. I did have the Eagles select. He's Ohio State teammate Josh Simmons.
his future is going to be inside at guard. That's where he plays best. That's where
Donovan Jackson. Okay,
because of his ability.
it's a good guard pick. I did also think about having him go all the way up at 16 or 18 to the Seahawks. It's a good pick. The Vikings needed a guard. They need some more. They did update their center. And the Giants have traded up. The Giants have traded up with the Texans. Sanders is better be a Giant, which would give them 3 quarterbacks. Or Dart. Dart could also be a Giant. So only the second trade we've seen today. I wonder what they gave up. I was like their second round pick, I would say.
Making a clean new homes.com that improves home shopping, creating a better way for people to find the perfect home to build their lives. Are you okay?
No, it's a dust-based allergy.
Oh, there's another one. That's why we do it, isn't it? Got a lot of dust in here.
Let's see.
Yeah. Ding dong.
Homes.com.
The Giants' second round pick
Easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. McCaffrey with a tough call.
was
You can't go. This is a big call, Christian. Big call, biggest call of the night.
their second round pick is that's not why is it keep bringing me there? Pick 34, meaning that they would only move up 9 picks. This doesn't. I'm not looking at the Wikipedia. It says that the Giants have pick 25. It doesn't say that the Texans have pick 34. But it's also probably just because they haven't really announced what's happening. Cat just opened the door. Okay, so I think the Giants are going to take pick 34 here in 1 second. Okay. Traded their second round pick, their third round pick, and another third round pick, and move up 9 spot.
If he's letting that be his umbrella, or is he a New York Giant?
We're moving. The stream will now be right here. Okay. Had to change locations there. I think it makes sense here for the Giants to take a quarterback. Sanders, probably. Usually taking a quarterback will give you more time. If you're a head coach or a GM that is kind of on the verge of being fired, went QB room of Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson, and a rookie quarterback, be it Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart. I don't know how I... Yeah. That is true. The Giants do not need a pro-ready quarterback. They have 2 pro-ready quarterbacks on their roster. Let's see who it is. Whoa, what? Wait, what?
With the 25th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart to New York. I don't like the pick. I don't like Jackson Dart. But it makes sense because the Giants don't need a guy this year. They need a guy 2-3 years from now. I think they said the Falcons traded up. I may have misheard it. But they may have said that the Falcons traded up and used the first round pick to do so, which is insane. I mean, we would be moving on those 20 spots. We moved up. We moved up to pick 26. Who are we about to draft? Hell, let's take another edge. Let's take James Pierce. Let's take Campbell. Let's take Will Johnson at corner. Let's take Mike Green. Let's take Starks at safety. We need a safety. Yeah, let's go. Trading a first round pick is crazy, but hopefully it's a low first round pick next year. If that is what they said. I still may have missed that. But the Falcons did trade up. I imagine we traded our second and a first to move back up to the first. Is kind of a lot. I don't know if that's right.
It's not there. But here's the other part. We're going to do all the connecting of the dots, Joel. The Ole Miss connection. Eli Manning came out of Ole Miss. Now we got another quarterback out of there. But guess what, folks? It all started with Charlie Connerly out of Ole Miss. And guess who won the Connerly Award last year as a top player in the state of Mississippi? Jackson Dart. This kid is schooled in it, understands
I don't know who we're going to take, but I mean, with some of the guys on the board, we can't go wrong. Unless we took Shedeur Sanders. Falcons picks in. Falcons pick is in. Good day. Love when we trade up into the reverse. Last time we traded up into the first was the Caleb McGarry, Chris Lindstrom draft. Two guys that have been staples of our offense since then. Pretty good draft. Lindstrom, the one of, if not the best guard in football, and McGarry is on his second contract, and he is fine. I'm hyped. I'm hyped to see who it's about to be. I don't even really care who it is as long as it's a defensive player. And there's a bunch of guys here that this could be, and it would all be a great pick for all of them. I think Terry knows that this is his job. This is the last year. If the Falcons don't make noise this year, Terry's gone. Morris is probably gone. They know that. There's talk of replacing Raheem last year. We didn't give up our first round. I misheard him. We did give up our first. That's a lot. But we get 2 first-round picks and a third. We did get a third this year, a first and a third for a first, a second, and a seventh. I don't know. But let's just hope that it's a low first next year. Okay. Watch out. We must love this guy, whoever it is.
The Atlanta Falcons with the 26th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Atlanta Falcons select James Pierce Jr.
Let's go. 2-8. Thank you. Great draft. Great night. That's what we needed. Leonard Floyd is Pierce's player comp. We have Leonard Floyd. Terry Cook.
He's not just going to run with that speed. He can run on the high side as well as underneath the tackle here with a little up and under. I want to see a little more consistency with this. The pocket collapsing power. That's going to be an area you're going to see him continue to develop. He can set the edge. You see it here as a pass rusher, can also do it in the run game. I knew they spent a lot of time on him, and there was talk City they could take with the 15th pick.
I loved Pierce when it first was like, hey, well, the Falcons had the 15th pick. Pierce was the first guy I wanted, and as things evolved, became Jalen Walker. It looked like the Mike Green was going to be the pick there. I could be wrong, but I recall that we sent a lot of people to Marshall's Pro Day. I don't remember if that was before or after the allegations came out, but still. I love it. I may get a Pierce and a Jalen Walker jersey. That's how much I love it. Yep. Apparently, James Pierce was almost our guy at 15. So him being here this deep into the first round makes a lot of sense that we traded up. Sucks that we gave up a first round pick next year, but if we win games and get sacks, it doesn't matter.
Traded between the league years beginning and the draft's beginning, and we saw not only multiple first round picks traded to now.
All right. I'm completely biased, but I think the Falcons won the first night of the draft. You get 2 first round picks, you bang on both of them.
There's no such thing as kind of amazing. It either is or it isn't. No surprises, Or stay steady. Amazing.
It's
Because a car that doesn't make you feel something. It's a car that's not should. Amazing.
been a good night.
This is Roundup for lawns. This stuff works. This stuff kills weeds down to the root without killing your lawn. This stuff works on dandelions, crabgrass, clover. This stuff works for up to 3 months. This stuff works guaranteed or your money back. This is Roundup for lawns. This stuff works.
I trusted Invisalign because a lot of my peers used the aligners before. Seeing results now, I can honestly say that I'm even more confident. Confidence is what shapes you to be great. Invisalign, trusted by the pros.
Okay, so we're
We
at the
up.
film festival, middle of Park City. The doors open, and hey, Sapphire Reserve premiere party. These strips are the best. At our peak, we had our own private viewing.
I love when coaches and GMs play for their jobs.
We were there in Paris. Exclusive events and affordable restaurants. Nights at the Sapphire Lounge.
We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more picks this draft. Ravens up on the clock. Their pick is in. I had them taking Nick Amanori. Wish I knew how to say people's names. The safety out of South Carolina. I could also see them taking Malachi Starks here if they really just want a safety. Could be one of those two guys. It could be Campbell. I'm not really sure they really have a need to have linebacker. It could be the guy from Boston College. Could be Mike Green. Although it's looking pretty certain Mike Green is going to fall at least to the second round. First round pick to move back up to the first. That's a lot. But we lost one of our day 2 picks and gained another to get another day 1 pick. And I think we gained another. Let's take a look at the full trade details. Info draft. Okay.
Every year, Rich Eisen runs the 40 to benefit St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Visit St. Jude.
Falcons, Rams trade.
To see Rich Rock.
No, not the Van Jefferson trade. What? All right, we got pick 26 and 101 for 46, 242, and a first round pick next year. So pretty much we traded a first round pick to move up 16 or 20 spots and then 141 spots. Which is it's pretty I think that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that actually. As long as we're not absolute trash next year, which we should not be, then I'm fine with this. And the Rams getting another first round pick, after they trade out of the first, and they just hate using first round picks. They may even use 2 first round picks next year to trade for another guy. Let's see. Ravens pick is in.
I'm so glad you said that because high safety is how I fucking played best. And that combo with Kyle Hamilton, that would be perfect for them. There's an Alabama player on the board. So we'll see what happens.
With the 27th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Malachi Starks.
Malachi Starks. Yep.
So it has been written, and so it has now been done. Malachi Starks is coming out of the green room.
New Baltimore was getting a safety. It just was which one are they taking, the Georgia or the South Carolina? I had Starks going 21 to the Steelers. I still have not gotten a single pick right since, which to be fair, a lot of the guys that I had picked right here are gone. Lions are up on the clock. I had them taking Michael Williams, also gone. I could see the Lions going Campbell here. Could see them going with the guy from Boston College here. Probably going to be one of those two guys. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. Um, yeah, Lions on the board. That's a big get for the Ravens. They need a safety. Starks is good. That was one of the guys I wanted at 15. They had one of the worst pass coverages out of any team last year. So getting a good safety out of Georgia, Malachi Starks, will help with that. 6 interceptions and 17 pass breakups in his career. 6 interceptions in a career is pretty good for safety, especially one to Georgia who's always loaded with defensive players. Arthur, what are you doing, man? So I'm wondering if another team will trade up here. The Browns, as they're saying, the Browns have a pick 33. They don't have a reason to trade up. No team ahead of them is going to take a quarterback. So any team that would want Sanders needs to trade up at least to pick 32. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a trade with pick 32, like the Eagles trading out of the spot, similar to when Lamar got drafted to the Ravens and they traded back in the first round. I'm just not sure who would trade in. Maybe the Saints, maybe the Steelers. Although I doubt that. I feel like they would just take him. That's I'm not really sure who else would take a quarterback. Cleveland has the first and the fourth pick in the second round. And the Raiders could take Sanders. They would have to trade back into the first to draft a guy who would not play for a while, as they just extended Geno Smith. The Saints have a top 10 pick in the second round. They have a pick, pick 8, I believe. They could. I mean, they would only have to trade up about 8 spots. To re-enter the first round, and they get Shooter Sanders there. The Lions pick is in. The Lions. Campbell has to stop falling at some point. I get the injury concerns. Well, Johnson has to stop falling at some point. And maybe it'll be tomorrow, but I am not. I mean, there's also Donovan. Donovan as Iruka. That maybe not. That may not be wrong. He probably is. Um, he's falling. I don't know of any injury return concerns with him, but he is falling. Uh, I had the Lions going edge. Michael Williams here. Um, obviously they can't get Michael Williams. Tylee Williams, oh, defensive tackle out of Ohio State. All right. I did not have him going in the first round of this mock draft, but I did and a couple other ones. I had him going in the usually in the final 3 or 4 picks, which we are down to the final 5 with the Lions pick 4 now, as the Commanders on the clock. Stout versus the run, as they say, disruptor. If you to be a good nose tackle, a good defensive tackle, what you want is a guy who's good at pass rush and a guy who can disrupt run plays. Tyleik Williams does that. It's a great pickup for the Lions, especially after all the defensive injuries last year. I think that's a good guy to fill a hole. Hmm. Um, down to the final 4. The Commanders, the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Eagles. See, the Commanders. I had the Commanders taking Nick Scorton, the edge out of Texas A&M. I think I'm higher on him than most people are. But a lot of time when I'm watching film, both him and Stewart, I like Scorton more than Stewart. Excuse me. Um, I could see them going there. I definitely feel like they'll go edge here or defense. For a team led by Dan Quinn, their defense last year was not good. I could see Siobhan Revel here or Will Johnson, although they really don't need more Hurts defensive backs. So Revel can make sense here. Emanuary, the safety out of South Carolina, could make sense here. Campbell can make sense here. Uh, they fell into a good spot. There's a decent amount of guys still on the board. Um,
Remember all this. Relax, bro. When things get intense, we get insights. For your insurance and financial needs.
the Commanders allowed 137.5 rushing yards this past season, 30th in all of football. I feel like that means the defensive lineman is pretty much guaranteed. Now, Thornton, I'm not entirely sure. Thornton's uh, run defense ability. Let's take a look here. NFL draft. Let's take a look at his NFL draft buzz, which is if y'all don't use it, great website to check out NFL prospects. Let's see here. His run defense. They gave him an 80 out of 100. They projected him to be a mid-second round pick, which is fair.
families when they need it most. Please donate today
Hmm.
to Red Cross Disaster Relief to help people affected by disasters, big and small. Go to redcross.org/.
Some of his strengths include like eating tight ends alive, pretty much on the end of run game, because he is just naturally strong, usually stronger than most tight ends. He's also 285, and he's still athletic. Like you would, if you watch him play, you would not say that man's 285. Beats tackles pretty cleanly. It says, because he has the exceptional quickness and precise hand placement. It pretty much explains what I saw in the film. I like Scorton. I think he's not as empty as a prospect as a lot of people are saying. Now he does struggle against double teams. He plays very tight, and this also says that the longer the game goes on, the higher his pad level will be, which is pretty normal for a lot of defensive ends. But that's still something you don't want. You'd like to be able to fix that. Dan Quinn hater here, but he is there's one thing Dan Quinn is good at. It's connecting with players. No one's going to listen to a coach that does connect to him. Let's see who the Commanders take. Oh, they took Connerly. All right. I definitely thought they were going defense here, especially with Dan Quinn as the head coach. But hey, Connerly's not a bad pick. I had Connerly going 31, I believe, to the Chiefs. Pretty good pick. Protect your young quarterback.
You don't see him get out over his skis. He's patient with his hands. He can sit back in the rocking chair. He's real strong and sturdy. He faced a lot of good rushers on the schedule this year, including a battle with Abdul Carter. You see the athleticism when he gets out there and spacing the run game. Another example here.
Honestly,
That you can see. And here he is as a Pee-wee player. That's not very Pee-wee to me.
I mean, Connerly. I liked what I saw from Connerly. He had tough competition, like they were saying. I don't know if we're going to be in the Big Ten. They had to go up against Ohio State and Penn State. Penn State had Abdul Carter. There's probably tape out there of Josh Connerly versus Abdul Carter, which if there is, I've not seen it yet, but I will be watching that after the draft concludes. 2 sacks allowed on almost 1,100 snaps is great. It's amazing. I kind of like I like Connerly maybe more than I like Kelvin Banks. They both play left tackle. I really Banks's ability off the ball I just really don't like, and that's usually something. If you aren't good off the ball, then speed rushers are just going to get right by you.
Chance of the corner off defense there. Got Marshawn Lattimore during the season last year. Maybe have another guy on the opposite corner. Maybe get Sanders still back inside the nickel, which we thought he would play, although he played awfully well outside. They decided to invest in Jake Daniels and his
Bills are not on the clock. I had the Bills selecting Javon Rebel. Rebel. Yeah. Cornerback out of ECU. Still, a lot of guys on this board that I did not think would make it to the second round. And with how much picks we have left in this first round, a couple of them are going to. There's a pretty good chance that all of them make it to the second round.
I looked at defensive tackle, defensive line. I had them taking Trey Amos at 4 out of Old Miss.
Mm.
We've still got Maxwell
Jameis would be a good pick here.
It's gone. What about pass rush?
That's another obvious spot to me. I'm excited to see us sitting out there.
With Joey Bosa coming in now, I mean, they're going to be fun to watch. With so
Joey Bosa hasn't played 12 years now. So you got to make sure you're backstopping that. So I'm not saying that's the pick, but it is a rock who's still there. Mike Green's still sitting out there for pass rush. But I know this. I keep hearing they want to do a little more man coverage, Sean. And if they want to do more man coverage, and it's in the secondary. Matt Max is sitting out there right now. Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame is sitting out there right now. So we'll see if they decide to go in that direction.
Yes, here's what I would say. Just like, college guy coming in looking at Buffalo. There's two ways that you beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. And they're the same way. What Tampa did in the Super Bowl and what Philadelphia did in the Super Bowl. Put him on his back. Put Patrick Mahomes on his back. So to me, I don't know if there's enough edge, tackle. There's not enough defensive linemen that you can take here. The problem is they've been run through in this draft. There's not really, those top end guys. They're taking production here, maybe like a Mike Green from Marshall. He led the country as Zaraku, the Ted Hendricks Donovan. As Zaraku, he had 16 and a half sacks for Boston College. That would be interesting to me. Just to put a number on it, they were 21st in the league in playing cover one, in playing man coverage. So if they want to play more, they got to pump that up. Remember, they swung and missed on Kyer Elam a few years ago at Portland.
Well, to be exact, Daniel, there's been one cornerback taken in this draft who also played wide receiver at the same time. They talk about Johnny Barron, who went 20th overall to the Denver Broncos. We paired up with the reigning defensive player of the year in the same.
Can I make one request?
Okay.
Travis Hunter, press conference. Do me a favor. Come out as a wide receiver into a press conference, change outfits, come out as a corner, do another one.
Okay, apparently, at least on Reddit, Falcons fans are not rocking entirely with the Pierce selection. I don't get why. I love Pierce.
Selection here in Green Bay.
The NFL is stepping up to have an even greater impact as a wish maker for Make-A-Wish. For the second time tonight, we have the opportunity to grant a wish for a deserving young man to announce the first pick for his favorite team. Tommy.
Let's go.
Tommy is a 16-year-old living with a neuromuscular disorder. He's a huge Buffalo Bills fan, and he's here with me to make the announcement for his beloved Bills. Go ahead, Tommy.
Here we go.
Let's go, Buffalo! With the 30th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Maxwell Harrison. Let's go!
Maxwell Harrison, cornerback out of Kentucky. That's also a pretty good pick. I did not have him going in the first round. I might have blocked. I had, I believe, 3 other cornerbacks. Yes. Barron is the only one of those who has gone. Down to the final 2. Let's see if anyone tries to jump the Browns and take Sanders. Maxwell Harrison's a really good pick for the Bills. I thought they were going to go pass rush once the pick actually came up, even though in my mock I had them taking a corner. But Harrison's a good pick. He had 6 pass breakups in 2023. That was 2 years ago, so I'm not entirely sure why it's showing that. Um, okay. See. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. Wow. Very, very fast cornerback. That's, I mean, hey, the two ways to stop Patrick Mahomes, which is what the Bills have to look at, is one, pass rush. That's what the Eagles did. That's what the Buccaneers did in the Super Bowl. That's the proven method. Um, or just get him throw interceptions. And now that doesn't always work. Sometimes he'll win the games and still throw 2 or 3 interceptions. But yeah, I mean, get a guy who's during a ball hog Patrick Mahomes, then you can't score a touchdown. Oh, yeah, that's a cool jacket. Has a family on the inside of his jacket. We are now down to pick 31, the second to last pick in the draft. I had Josh Carnley going here to the Chiefs. About 3 hours and 33 minutes. Um, oh, oh, the Eagles swapped. Okay, so the Eagles have traded up from pick 32 to pick 31. I guess I was right with the Eagles not saying to pick 32. They traded up a pick using a 5th-round pick, I believe, in this year's draft. Gotta wonder who they thought would not be there at 32, but would be there at 31. I guess unless they're worried about the Chiefs taking them. They seem pretty hyped about him being there on the board. Gotta wonder if it's a guy like Gamble or Aziruka. Aziruku? I'm gonna learn how to say his name before he plays again. It could be Mike Green. They drafted guys with character concerns before. Could be Siobhan Revel. See him going to Philadelphia here. This pick is and he was picking. The pick was in almost immediately since the trade was announced. Gotta wonder if the Chiefs will trade back out of 32.
To ensure our tools perform at the highest level and stand the test of time without testing your wallet. Now it's time for you.
Oh, the Eagles do need another defensive end. The guy out of Boston College could be the pick here. Brandon Graham did retire, so they do have a hole there.
And for that, not only is he the coach, we represent him on the field. Draft night will be legendary.
I am somebody. Maybe young, maybe small.
This should be the final commercial break of the night.
protected. Never
Let's see here. Okay, we are back. The pick has been in. Campbell will probably be the pick to Philadelphia here. It really just makes sense. I'm probably a top 15 player in this first round, barring injury concerns. It makes sense for them to think that the Chiefs would try to take them.
Just gotta go like one or two spots and go get the guy they want. Nolan Smith fell through. Nolan Smith, they fell this collection, and this is the reason why they won the Super Bowl. You know, Saquon, but look at this. Remember when Jalen Carter fell in the first round, and Philadelphia just okay, one or two moves were there. Once he got in the range, move got it. Listen, that's the fix they're looking for.
Where are we at?
So the first round is over. Cleveland is officially sitting on
Okay, so the Eagles pick is in, and the Chiefs pick is also in.
The Kansas City Chiefs have traded the 31st pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. With the 31st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jahad Campbell.
Yep.
Linebacker.
I mean, that's a pretty good consolation prize. You don't get picked high, you end up getting picked to the Super Bowl champions. You get to add to an already stacked defense.
Speaking of Obi-Wan down here, our lead draft expert, Daniel Jeremiah, he's in his mock draft at 32. Obi-Wan, Philadelphia. The rules are simple with the Eagles. They take the best Alabama or Georgia player who falls into their lap. Campbell's went number 12 player in the draft, so he'd be a tremendous value at the end of round one. But back with the shoulder surgery he's recovering from, he'd be a lock to go on track. Daniel Jeremiah prior to the draft. Notes to Jeremiah. He did it again.
It's pretty awesome seeing guys get drafted. The Eagles just got a lot better as long as his shoulder is fine, which it should be. Campbell's a dog. Campbell, I like Daniel Jeremiah said, he was his 12th ranked player. Campbell probably is a top 10, top 15 pick if he's healthy. All right. They did say that the Chiefs pick is already in, but they'll do the coverage of Campbell.
You see it here on the late blitz. Here he is coming off at the edge. Now look, he's going to need to add some more polish as a rusher with his athleticism and speed.
I'm not a big fan of helmet scouting. I think scouting a player based on what college they went to usually does not work. But the Eagles' strategy of just draft dominant SEC defensive player, usually a Georgia player, obviously worked. They have won the Super Bowl. They went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. That Eagles team is going to be tough next year. It's going to be hard to stop them from repeating as NFC champions.
And so you've got to be a hybrid player. You're going to be on the field one.
That's a big pick.
Rich, here's how badly Eagles general manager Howie Roseman wanted Jihad Campbell. When the Chargers were on the clock at 22, he was working the phones trying to get a trade. They thought they had a trade, thought it was done. The Chargers ended up picking, tried to get at 23, again at 24. Now
Okay,
Campbell.
that makes sense why the Chargers trade took so long. I don't know if you heard it on there. I believe it goes through, but the Eagles were trying to trade out from number 32 to 22 to take Campbell. So that makes sense why it took so long for the Chargers to pick, because they were working on a trade, but then they took who did the Chargers take? Why am I blanking on the Chargers? That, if you can hear that sound in the background, it is my cat trying to open a door, and he has gotten it open. So the Chargers took. Oh, the Chargers took Hampton. That's why.
It was just a real feeling, just getting that call and just being here and, just having the opportunity and, maximizing my opportunities when I was younger and, just leading it to this point. So I'm just extremely grateful and I'm honored.
And you have a future in television when you're done playing. Congratulations.
You're damn right. Signing up, the kid from Camden County in New Jersey is going to be playing just down the turnpike.
All right. One more pick in the draft. It's the Chiefs. The pick has been in for a while now.
It is from the Kansas City Chiefs. And they didn't know, right? It was going to be for Jihad Campbell that they were coughing up the pick. So they were going to be that way to history. Yeah. Who were they happy to just move down one spot plus the round pick for? Well, to me, if you look at a tight end and Mason Taylor who's out there, that could be your eventual replacement for Kelsey.
Could take Mason Taylor. I had Josh Simmons going at 32 here to the Eagles. Oh, the Goodell's already out. Let's see here.
Second pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Josh Simmons.
Oh, hey, I got it right. That's surprising. After a drought from pick 14, I got pick 32 right. Josh Simmons, good tackle. He's a little shorter than average tackle. He could play a little guard. But really probably just gonna plug in wherever the Chiefs need help. I feel like he can play guard or tackle.
He stepped right in at left tackle, and you can see his feet. Just watch him move. Here he is. His ability to kind of roll his.
Yeah, he's got good movement. Wow. Yeah, that's a really good pick for the Chiefs there. All right. Well, that concludes the day one of the NFL draft, and that concludes episode 10 of the 3P podcast. So I will see you for episode 11, and hopefully I'll have James and Matic here with me for the whole thing. See ya.